Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better day. Know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. How can I say? Only you can make the change. How can I shine your head at you? How can I see? Shine so bright from darkness to light. Hey, 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 hey. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it won't seem way out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The power of God will flow through you from way out.
Okay, so the CIA just declassified 17 documents. There's that 17. These are ophanim. Ophanim is a Hebrew word that literally means wheels. In the book of Ezekiel, it describes a wheel within a wheel, covered in eyes, moving with lightning, fire, and spirit. Their rims were full of eyes all around. Continues, the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. It's saying is that these wheels are alive, they're conscious, and they move directly with the spirit of God. The eyes on the wheels are symbolic of higher consciousness, higher perception beyond the physical world. The fire is symbolic of purification and transformation. The wheel within the wheel is symbolic of multidimensional movement. Spirit moving beyond time and space. This is where the idea of the Merkaba comes in. Kaaba is Hebrew for chariot. Ancient mystics believe that Ezekiel wasn't just seeing heavenly beings, but he was witnessing the divine chariot of consciousness itself. Many spiritual traditions teach that humans possess a light body. Mary Magdalene referred to this as our third body out of our three bodies, which is our energetic vehicle called the Merkaba. Belief is that through prayer, meditation, breath work, alignment, we all can activate this spiritual vehicle that is a part of our being. If thine eye is single, then thy whole body is full of light. Let's look at that word light. Now, of course, normally you would equate the word light to like light of the sun, but it could also mean being light in weight. So your energetic body becomes light, giving you the ability to travel between dimensions. The idea is basically that humanity was always meant to become spiritual beings, aligned with divine intelligence instead of being trapped in material consciousness. So the theory can expand to what we're seeing is not aliens per se, but literally us from different dimensions. When we activate the kingdom of heaven within, we are able to travel and explore more of God's creation. Also wanted to touch on the fact that we've been hearing that a lot of pastors have been given briefings in order to prepare the church. I just want to give a warm reminder to use your discernment. One pushing fear around all of this is not in alignment with where humanity is headed. When you catch yourself feeling afraid or a sense of panic, ask yourself, who benefits from me being afraid? God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love and a sound mind. You were programmed to separate creator from creation. And in reality, we are all one, but we're all operating on different frequencies. So always be mindful of what you're letting affect your frequency.
And welcome to Alchemizing Energy. I'm your host, DJ Genesis. Today, we are talking about the latest UFO disclosure. So Donald Trump has decided to release the UFO files. It is more of the UAP files than the UFO files. It's more discussing some of these phenomenon, the record of the phenomenon going on, these ships flying from here to there, And the question is that, what are they hiding? For the most part, it just seems like the same boring, UFO talk, But what is really going on underneath the surface? Let's listen to what a few people have to say. Let's go.
Aliens. In the early 2000s, there was a cartoon called Static Shock. My favorite cartoon of all time, my favorite superhero of all time. Used to watch that show like crazy when I was a kid. In season 1, episode 7, there's a man seemingly dressed up like a pastor outside of a mall, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs, "Y'all need to repent. The end is near. I should know, I've been preaching this message forever. The day of reckoning is upon us. I know it for sure. This time."
Look at them. Y'all better start repenting, because the end is near. And believe me, I know. I've been spreading this message for years. The day of reckoning is at hand. I am sure of it this time.
He said, "I'm sure of it. This time." That part was always so funny to me because it let me know for sure he's been preaching this for years, but with no proof. He's just hoping that it happens. Listen, my grandmother thought Jesus was coming back in her lifetime. Her mother probably so, and so on and so on and so on. But it's not their fault. The church has been preaching this to them for years, decades, if not centuries. I understand that's a part of the Bible and it's in there, but why this so much? Why are they so focused on this specific part more than anything else? Now listen, I've always felt like this is a way that some churches, not all, avoid responsibility. It's like a distraction of some sort. They avoid the responsibility of dealing with the evil that they say is going to bring Jesus back. I understand that it's in the Bible. It's very clear that Jesus is coming back. But it seems like you focus on that more than you focus on everything else Jesus was talking about that's as important. Take care of the poor. Sell your worldly possessions and give to the needy. Can't do that right now. I'm focused on Jesus coming back. Take care of the weak. I can't do that right now because Jesus is coming back. How about accept everybody the way Jesus accepted you? You can't do that right now because Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back, and that's on your forefront. That's the most important thing to you, that you're distracted from everything else. Everything else that's as important, because Jesus is coming back. You got to prepare for the return. And every some odd years, somebody comes out with no proof that Jesus is coming back, and they had a revelation, and they know, and then he doesn't. And every some odd years, the government comes out with some type of information to tell you that there's UAPs and UFOs and aliens coming out. And then there isn't. Why? Look, I don't know. But there's always something going on. In 1947, we had Roswell, the alien incident. I know the people back then were like, listen, we just got out of World War II. Can we slow down a little bit, really? Aliens? 1952, we had Project Blue Book. I know the people were like, hey, listen, we in the middle of the Korean War. Can we finish that first, really? Aliens in 2020 and 2021, we had the official UAP reports. I know the people were like, hey, listen, we got COVID right now. We're in the middle of a lockdown. There's protests everywhere. Really? Aliens, and now it's 2026. And they give you another official UAP UFO report. With all that's going on, really? Aliens? In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. You know I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. But if I don't, stay out of trouble.
Doesn't it just seem like every time they discuss aliens, there's always cataclysm? It's always something going on in the world. And all of a sudden, that's when the aliens come. Every time. Welcome.
Girl, why do you always pick the wrong?
I'm just saying, like,
the time when my son get off the bus and come in, you know what I'm saying, he wanted to take the laptop for a little while. He's been in school all day, and I tried to get on the phone, but for some reason now it's blocking me. I did it the other day. It's not allowing me to get in. So I'm just frustrated. How y'all doing?
We good. We just started. So I might just replay a couple things so you can kind of hear it. But
okay, I can't stay on too long because he gonna want that. Even though I got a daggone MetaQuest headset, he can watch his daggone freaking YouTube videos on in live action with all the freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying? But no, he wants the laptop.
Okay.
He cringing at me right now.
Right. Well, you know what? I wanted to hear what your son had to say about this whole UFO thing too.
Right. Well, yeah.
You know, so
when we get to the War of the Worlds part, I'm gonna make him freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying, to come on here and explain, you know what I'm saying, how psychologically weak human beings are, because you know what I'm saying, we are so quick to immediately you know what I'm saying, turn it into a monster situation.
Well, that's not what this discussion's about. First of all, we're going into the Bible. Let's go. Let me replay the first video.
Okay, so the CIA just declassified 17 documents. There's that 17. These are ophanim. Ophanim is a Hebrew word that literally means wheels. In the book of Ezekiel, it describes a wheel within a wheel, covered in eyes, moving with lightning, fire, and spirit. Their rims were full of eyes all around. Continues, the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. It's saying is that these wheels are alive, they're conscious, and they move directly with the spirit of God. The eyes on the wheels are symbolic of higher consciousness, higher perception beyond the physical world. The fire is symbolic of purification and transformation. The wheel within the wheel is symbolic of multidimensional movement. Spirit moving beyond time and space. This is where the idea of the Merkaba comes in. Kaaba is Hebrew for chariot. Ancient mystics believe that Ezekiel wasn't just seeing heavenly beings, but he was witnessing the divine chariot of consciousness itself. Many spiritual traditions teach that humans possess a light body. Mary Magdalene referred to this as our third body out of our three bodies, which is our energetic vehicle called the Merkaba. Belief is that through prayer, meditation, breath work, alignment, we all can activate this spiritual vehicle that is a part of our being. If thine eye is single, then thy whole body is full of light. Let's look at that word light. Now, of course, normally you would equate the word light to like light of the sun, but it could also mean being light in weight. So your energetic body becomes light, giving you the ability to travel between dimensions. The idea is basically that humanity was always meant to become spiritual beings, aligned with divine intelligence instead of being trapped in material consciousness. So the theory can expand to what we're seeing is not aliens per se, but literally us from different dimensions. When we activate the kingdom of heaven within, we are able to travel and explore more of God's creation. Also wanted to touch on the fact that we've been hearing that a lot of pastors have been given briefings in order to prepare the church. I just want to give a warm reminder to use your discernment. One pushing fear around all of this is not in alignment with where humanity is headed. When you catch yourself feeling afraid or a sense of panic, ask yourself, who benefits from me being afraid? God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love and a sound mind. You were programmed to separate creator from creation. And in reality, we are all one, but we're all operating on different frequencies. So always be mindful of what you're letting affect your frequency.
So what do you think about that? I think that, she makes a point. Like, what if people are capable in their deep meditative state to astral project, and maybe that astral projection is looking like a UAP? Maybe that Merkaba type of thing looks like a unidentified flying object. What if
the maybes is speculative, and what we want to do is we want to stay grounded in reality, because what we don't want to do is become an insane freaking nut basket who freaking daggone thinks that they can daggone, you know what I'm saying, astral project, you know what I'm saying, and choke out their ex-girlfriend because they're still pissed at her. Because I'm going through some things.
You don't believe in astral?
Hold on.
Okay.
You asked me a question. Let me talk.
Well, okay, I'm sorry.
No, I don't know. Not magically freaking daggone lighting up the skies and stuff in our dreams. Like, we watch too many movies. We have to stay grounded. Now, I liked how she said it, but I look at it from a very psychological perspective, because there are dimensions within inside the mind. There are layers and there are perceptual dimensions that we can explore, right? However, no, the lights. I'm not going to feed anybody's freaking pseudo imaginations so that they can become more crazy. We have a lot of crazy people out here. We had enough freaking daggone Dr. Malachi Z. Yorks and you know what I'm saying, and freaking daggone Polites, you know what I'm saying, bugging out, and what's that other dude, freaking Pharaoh, you know what I'm saying, feeding our people freaking madness, because see, here's the thing, here's where I'm going to get a little freaking daggone a conspiracy theorist. It's so important for the machine, right? The racial, you know what I'm saying, white supremacy propaganda machine to try and keep our people in a state of being out of reality, a state of madness, where we start thinking that, you know, oh, we don't have to worry about why we got to worry about the tethers and the aliens are coming, when we have one enemy right now. Fuck the aliens. The aliens don't want to come to this ghetto. They drive right past us. Okay? Because this shit is horrible. What's going on right now?
That's all. Earth is ghetto. I wanna leave. Can you beat me up?
It's connected to that for some reason.
Hold
on a store on the 115, got a bright new thing. You ever heard that song, Earth is Ghetto?
Wait, sing it again, because you went into my son's headset because he was connected, so I missed everything you just did.
Oh, no, I would say Earth is ghetto. I want to leave. Can you beat me up?
It is. It is.
Got a corner store. You're the one on 15.
Right.
Got a bright something.
Go ahead, girl. Sing that thing. Yeah, no, this shit is trash. The fuck is coming over here to fucking diddle our doodads?
But I think it might not be. We might be trash, but the earth itself is not trash.
The who?
The earth itself is not trash. We as humans might be trash, but
see, here's the thing: we can kill ourselves 1,000 times over on this planet. The planet will regenerate itself. It has done so. You know how many daggone freaking apocalyptic freaking daggone periods of this planet? We are a small fragment of the Earth's existence. It has had over Zari.
Yeah.
How many freaking daggone cataclysmic Earth changes have happened from the Ice Age to all?
A shit ton. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
A crap ton.
And we are only living within this little small percentage in between the freaking cataclysmic world events that have happened. And the Earth is still here. We can blow ourselves up. See, we think that, humans, we are destroying the Earth. And we got nuclear power that can destroy this planet 7 times over.
It's not the first time we've ever had nuclear power, by the way.
I know. Okay, so, but yeah, well, let's stay on course. But even if we did blow up the Earth, the only thing that it would threaten is us. Shit would literally start back over and start to regenerate again. Humans would no longer live, but evolution would already be in process.
It always, yes, amen. And that's why they say that there's this like great reset. And what's interesting, what you say, do you know that nuclear bombs are no longer the same thing? They got this thing called nuclear something. It's not even the same nuclear bomb. It's a nuclear something, a nuclide bomb or something, okay, where they could blow the people up but keep the buildings intact. So when they were talking about Trump hitting over there in Iran, people think, well, they're going to level out the whole, like, no. What they're going to do is they're going to drop a bomb. It's going to eliminate all the people and keep all the buildings. So they got like new stuff now that, you know, right, like, come on.
Right. And so, yeah. So,
I think it's called a nuclide bomb or something.
We are the monsters to be afraid of. We are. I'm not waiting for something to come out of space. I'm not waiting for a flaming wheel with freaking daggone
eyeballs,
wings, and eyeballs. See, all of that is really symbolic, like the sister was saying, but she said it in a language that most people could take and go all the way pseudo with it, but I really heard what she was saying, and she was really saying it in a very poetic way, but it really is not as magical as what you would try to receive from it. I heard what she said, and it's natural. Not I don't believe in supernatural, y'all. I believe in something called extra natural. And that's my word for it. Actually, my cousin.
I was like, is there a thing? That's a word? Extra natural? Extra?
I'm the only one who has coined it in our community, but my cousin gave it to me. My younger cousin, he said, no, it's not supernatural, it's extra natural, to explain things that are really natural, but seem like they're, like they come out of nowhere, like, self-fulfilled prophecy. A lot of times human beings are actually fulfilling their own prophecy. A lot of times we are the ones who are actually creating our own monsters, and it's not something coming from freaking daggone the nether regions of freaking daggone some. It's actually our own imaginations creating and killing ourselves.
You know what is so crazy? I'm not sure if you saw that live stream I did with I Will Follow Coon. Okay. He talked about even when people think that a person is putting witchcraft on them, right? But there's actually a self-created demon that a person can make that can attack you, but it's really something in your own mind. Yes. I think it was called, I forget what the name of it's called. Okay. But it's a name for it that in Yoruba they say that this is really a self-created spirit.
Yes. And I absolutely, so if that's in there, I believe that 100%. If you can find that in the Baba, brought that out. I would like to know what that dialogue is and the language that they use in the Yoruba to describe it, because I believe that is real.
Yeah, it's a self-created demon that. Yes. So so it's not like ain't nobody gave you ain't nobody got no witchcraft.
You give it power, right? You give it
in
power
your own mind. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. You give it power, and you also give it power in others around you. So we are collective. We are a collective intelligence. We have to remember that even though we have our own ideas and our own identities. Existentialism and stuff has made us think that we are an island. No man is an island. No man stands alone. That's Dennis Brown. No man is an island. Ooh, yeah. No man stands alone. Our collective thinking actually affects us collectively. So if I have a nightmare, I can actually transmit that fear, that hate, that that demon to somebody else. It's psychological. So that's why I'm very careful about what I think and what I speak around my children, because I can infect them with my own extra natural demons. It ain't coming from outer space, coming from within you. Within you.
Exactly. Right.
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
So let's get into this. The disclosure now. Trump has just released the files. And a lot of this stuff people are trying to debate whether it's demons, angels, UFOs, UAPs, or actual human-made aircraft. Let's go.
Brazil just made an absolute boss move in UFO transparency and dropped the receipts on nearly 900 UFO cases. This is huge. So on May 31st, Brazil's National Archives released 893 UFO cases, to be exact, to the public. And we're talking about sightings from 1952 all the way up to 2023, complete with photos, audio recordings, witness drawings, detailed official reports. The files were originally set to drop on June 13th, but they went live early with no warning. And there's some seriously amazing stuff inside. So I've only cracked into it just a touch, and already it's mind-blowing. It talks about cases like the 1977 Colaris incident, where locals were reportedly injured by beams of light coming from low-flying UFOs it was so intense that the Brazilian military launched Operacio Prato, Operation Saucer, to investigate. There's also the 1986 Night of the UFOs, where 21 objects were spotted across southern Brazil, tracked on radar and chased by Air Force jets. So if you want to check it out yourself, there's a website you can go to. I'll list it right here. You'll need to register, but the docs are public. A lot of it's in Portuguese, but you can get it translated. Brazil just raised the bar. It's your move, Pentagon. Follow for more, because I'm going to...
All right. So
a lot of people are not going to believe this because a lot of people need something to believe in. But one of the reasons why those pastors was called to have that meeting to be debriefed on what was inside of the UFO files before they were dropped is because of what was exposed inside of the files. Now, I know that a lot of people have been talking about the photos that was in the files, but a lot of people are not talking about the information that was in the files. In so many words, they were pretty much saying that the Anunnaki is real. Not only are they real, they created mankind. In addition to that, they created religion. They are the people who gave us the 10 Commandments. They are the people who created this whole story about Noah's Ark, right? So when you think about it, once people congregations or pastors congregations get whiff of this information and start figuring this thing out and putting two and two together, right, they are going to go crazy. It is going to put them in a place where they are just hysterical, right? So with that being said, I believe that the meeting was so that they could get ahead of this, because all hell is possibly going to break loose after this information is released. Let me just say this, right? A lot of people are not going to believe this information because we have been lied to for so long. And I feel like that's exactly where they want us to be. That's exactly the position they want us to be in. Because here's the thing, right? There is something called universal law. They have to tell us. Not only that, I believe that we are coming to an end of a timeline and we are moving and shifting to the beginning of a whole new timeline. And in order for that to happen, things have to be reset. And in order for things to be reset, a lot of things have to end. A lot of things have to be dismantled. And that is what we are seeing, y'all. I'm going to end this video. Like I said before, it is document 14, page 6. If you have not read it, please go and do the research for yourself so you won't think that I'm just crazy.
all right. When I play the videos from the meet from that like little thing, I can't pause it. Don't let me. I don't know why
they want black folk to believe in amazing things, and it's important for us to stay in outer space and in freaking daggone in the further. You remember that from what was that movie? It was the further is in cities, right? Mm-hmm. The further is a place where, you know what I'm saying, all of the dead spirits are freaking daggone lingering. It's like a purgatory. Niggas are in purgatory. We are in a purgatory of imagination and freaking propaganda. That woman is out of her fucking mind. Because what she's doing is she's pushing her demons onto anybody who's listening to that. She don't got a fucking oodle of evidence. But she's saying, oh, y'all are not going to believe this, but prove it. Prove it. You are intoxicating our people to focus on things that are not going to help us fix our situation. Yo, I got something for you. Watch this. She said that was in Brazil. Don't you know that Brazil has been a part of a huge campaign of disinformation and false alien reports?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, the Boogosphere. You know about the Boogosphere?
Yeah, I've heard about that. So
okay. Is that fake? It's hot garbage. Watch this. I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, because they were saying they cut it and they did a. There's been a few things. Yeah, they did
it's a bowling ball.
What?
White people, and all of these cats.
While you bring that up, yeah, I want to hear about the Boogosphere because I thought that was something real. Go ahead, bring it up.
A lot of people are not going to believe this because
really bad, right? It's so dumb that if you thought that this was real, you should be embarrassed. You should.
Well, I guess I'm embarrassed because I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty crazy.
It's not real. Like the dude freaking literally lights this whole shit up. A lot of the stuff that we're seeing because we have AI and we have computers and we have. Okay, so I'm gonna share this here. Watch this dude, man. This dude really eats this whole boogosphere thing up. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Just enough for y'all to see how stupid we are for fucking goddamn sitting here seeing something on YouTube or on freaking goddamn social media, and all of a sudden, some freaking asshole with no degree, with no evidence, with nothing more than her fucking goddamn emotional inflections and her fucking goddamn schizophrenia, schizotypal disorder, trying to sound smart, I have y'all all caught up in some dumb shit that ain't even real. And y'all be sitting over here like, hey, you know what? I think she might be right. No, nigga. Take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I saw this first video, the early images. I was like, hold on a second. Is this linked to the Booga parties that Silvio Berlusconi hosted? And then I looked it up and I realized they were called the Bunga parties. So then just never mind. But for some reason, the mystery of the Booga spheres persists. As I said, saw it for the first time a few weeks back. Didn't make much of it. Didn't even deem it to be necessary to make a video about it. Because it's like, could be a balloon, could be something that's suspended. I moved over it. I didn't even want to talk about it. But it keeps coming back. More Booga spheres that then have slightly different names are being spotted around South America, around Colombia. We even have some from China. And in the meantime, Jaime Maussan has hosted just a few days ago a big press conference that was also streamed across YouTube. I'll post the link down in the description if you want to check it out yourself. It is all about the Booga sphere. The whole thing was just about the Booga sphere, and he had the who is who of ufology, if you want to call it that. They are sitting in the front row here. So we have Daniel Sheehan, the left-hand side. Oh, there's obviously Dr. Stephen Greer. Then right next to him, we have U.S. Congressman Eric Burleson. Okay, they all went to Mexico for the Booga sphere announcement press conference thing. And obviously everyone was like, that's going to be great. They have a press conference. They really have something big and monumental to say. They didn't. We'll get to that later in this video, okay? By the end of Analyzer, that is just very questionable, in my opinion, when it comes to the Booga sphere. Things that put its authenticity in question. Because there's quite a lot out there, and I feel people often talk about the Booga sphere and how it was found. And, by the end of this video, you can make up your own mind, but we're going to do a bit of a deep thought. I mean, this year was May 4th this year. This was uploaded, so I don't know if this was the day it was released. It may have been a few days later. But here it says the Columbia sphere is fascinating. It was captured by 2 people simultaneously. It hit high voltage power line and eventually fell to the ground. It's being investigated by Jaime Maussan. And when I read this, I was like, that's not good.
Why would it fall to the ground? That's supposed to be like some high level.
Obviously, it is South America. So Jaime Maussan is the UFO boss, the end boss when it comes to that part of the world. But this was the video. And again, I mean, while the sphere that we see here makes some impressive movements, right? It's like, look, it goes down and then it stops. It's not unthinkable at the time. I was like, could it be the wind or something? But here it is now. Descending down, and they claim to have found it. Now, what stands out to me is that as far as I'm aware, doing my research, there's no video that seamlessly shows a recording from the moment where the sphere goes down behind the bushes, from them walking into the bushes and actually finding it. What you see here is all we get, at least what I've seen. Feel free to correct me if there is a full video of them that is seamless, right? Of the sphere going down, them going into the bushes, finding it roughly where it came down. Then I'd love to see it, but I haven't seen it. And then you do see the sphere down here. You see it? There it is. It is down. It looks down. I don't know if it is actually down, but it looks like he's looking down the hill. So this is how close we get to the sphere in this video. So we never see a video of him like walking up to it, picking it up. So you would get like this seamless sensation, right? So that's already, I was like, I don't know, man. So there are photos that show how it was laying there, but it just raises questions to me. It's like, if you find something like that, something so monumental, like potentially alien spaceship, drone, whatever we want it to be, and it lands there, why would you stop filming? Why do you take a few photos like this but stop the process of you walking up to the sphere, picking it up, making it seamless from when it disappeared behind the bushes? But okay,
Why would you pick it up?
And other videos surfaced
Right.
that seem to almost look the same. Here is a booger sphere.
Why would you touch it?
Booger sphere, because the name booger sphere
Hell
comes from
no.
the
I don't know what's
village
gonna blow
where it
up
was
or
recorded,
you
which
know
I think
what?
is called Booga, or close to the village Booga.
You feel me?
Don't
So,
nail me down on this.
watch how he
Somewhere
do it.
again
He gonna
in
kill it.
Colombia.
He
But
gonna
this
show
video
it.
surfaced from
Hold on,
China.
pause.
Okay, so
He
here we
paused.
have another metallic.
This guy is going to show how bullshit. He's going to show how once you see, like, you're going to see how. So here, the main thing that I want y'all to see is that there is a huge money backing to creating false narratives, right? And aliens and all kinds of stuff. This is going on in Mexico and the place Booga, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, down there, they had press conferences. Once he actually points out all of the flaws of this thing, you guys, and you know, I don't know if we're going to get through the whole video. I want y'all to just see the main parts of how he destroys it. And then I want you to apply that thinking to every other fucking alien or API claim. I want you to apply the same, you know what I'm saying, cognitive ability, because he debunks this shit, and there are people who still believe this is real. There are niggas out here on YouTube right now and on Facebook bragging about the book that there are Israelites. So hold on. This is one of the things too. I have a problem with the One West community promoting alien talk and the freaking daggone Kimbo Slice Jesus coming out of a freaking daggone mothership. We are out of our black ass minds. And rightfully so. I mean, after, you know what I'm saying, all of the traumas and you know what I'm saying, niggas do want somebody to come out the sky and freaking daggone, you know what I'm saying, snatch them up and take them up from away from here, far away from here, far away from here. Just jump in the UFO, smoke a blunt, and we are so desperate for some Anunnakis to come down here and whoop Mr. Charlie ass. We ain't doing it. But what you're doing is you're killing yourself. You're killing your community by promoting madness. I mean, freaking daggone schizo-typal.
What did Erykah Badu say? The mothership can't say you, so your ass is gonna get left. Didn't she say that? The mothership can't save you, so your ass is gonna get left.
I call her Baduki. I love Baduki. You know what I'm saying? I love her. But she was a follower of freaking York. How much can I give her on sanity? You follow a freaking daggone insane, sociopathic, narcissistic pederast. And now you over here wearing freaking daggone big old booty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's so creative. But she is not the voice of black sanity. And let me just say this. Big shout out to my mentor who passed away about maybe 10 years ago, Mother Jean Denver. You know what I'm saying? Mother Jean Denver was an amazing woman who was a part of Assata Shakur's movement, Africans for Sanity Now. I'll say it again. Africans for Sanity Now was Assata Shakur's movement, and she understood that the propaganda machine was generating things in our minds, in our communities, black community specifically, to keep us mentally, psychologically, spiritually unstable. And this is why we as black folks are talking about Anunnaki. JJ 7000, is a freaking nut basket. And I would never, ever take him seriously enough for him to tell me, oh no, he don't believe in the Bible, but he still believes in daggone freaking 9-foot giants.
So you don't think that the Anunnaki is real?
No.
Did they have that in the Bible? Didn't they have like these?
Yes, symbolic, and they have deeper meanings than what most people realize. The Bible is written in freaking daggone codified language. So when you talk about giants, you're actually talking about institutions. You're talking about people who, it says in there, when it says giants on the land, it says men of renown. So I got a homeboy in Long Island who is an absolute monster. When we were in high school, this dude was slam dunking in middle school. He was killing it. And he is, and we call him Butters, right? Big shout out to Butters. T-Bone. This brother was a giant on the land. You know why? Because nobody could beat him. Not in basketball and not in fighting. This dude was so amazing at being physically skilled that his name traveled all the way around Long Island in the streets and in the prison system. He is a big monster. If you ain't from New York, you don't know what a Bing monster is. The Bing monster is the dude that gonna take all of your commissary and you gonna give it to him willfully.
Wow.
Because he's that giant on the land. We are looking at the language all wrong. A person who is, we have people like that. You could say in basketball, Michael Jordan, and that's why they put him in a movie, Spaceball, to make us look at aliens. Just because this man can freaking daggone do things that were beyond human freaking daggone explanation, he became a giant. That is what a
right. That's what they when they said that Anunnaki. That's what they meant by that.
Not Anunnakis and Nephilim. It's not what we think it is.
They're not aliens coming from another planet.
Powerful human beings that can make you believe in aliens. Go ahead. Oh wait, let me press play. I'm sorry.
Right, it's on your side. You said go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm so used to sharing my screen. So let's go. Let's
silver orb / sphere floating around in China. And again, this came, I remember, like a week after the initial Booga sphere video. It's less impressive, right? It shows pretty much the same. There's no detail on this one, right? As wasn't on the original Booga sphere video, but then they retrieved it, so they have photos, clear photos of it. But here, we only basically see a little white silvery dot floating around. But people are like, oh my God, it's a global phenomenon. The Booga sphere is everywhere. But then guess what? Another video surfaced showing again a very similar object, this time recorded, I think, 2.5 hours away from the village of Booga. And it was recorded close to a town called Yumbo. So it's called the Jumbo sphere. But the Jumbo sphere looks pretty much exactly like the other one, right? Almost identical. We got this video. This is not the sharpest version, but there is a stabilized version. And that one actually, this is kind of where we're getting into the deep dive, right? And the proper analytics of this, because this is besides obviously the sphere itself. And so when it comes to video footage of it floating around, this is pretty much all we have. So here is a stabilized version. As far as I'm aware, this has not been AI enhanced or anything like this. I think they only took the original video that was as uncompressed as possible and then stabilized it. So you can kind of see and notice a few things here. A lot of people pointed out that there is like this grainy pattern around the sphere, right? Now, I don't think that implies that it's been photoshopped in there in the sense that it's post-production CGI or something.
Well, watch this.
Carve metal or do metal work, so I don't want to step on anyone's toes here. Maybe this is great work, but I look at this and I'm like, dudes, these are some janky lines. You can't put lines like that on here. And
yo, hold on. This thing is supposed to be created by an alien species that has the ability to manipulate space-time. And they suck at drawing. They suck at creating straight lines.
Meaning the pictures on there, the images is kind of
Yes,
like.
you see how crooked that is? Look at the little curves. They fucked up. Whoever made this,
Design.
it's trash.
The graphics are trash.
It's not even.
The graphics are trash.
How do y'all take this serious when these dudes literally scrabbled on it and couldn't even get the line straight? Oh, but this thing is supposed to be able. And then he showed where he could prove that it was hanging from a string. You, da, 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 da. Yo, booger's hanging on a string now.
The booger's hanging on string.
I'm not your plaything. You. Garbage! And you got people running around here not paying attention to the detail to find the human error. They're just running out here. Oh, yeah, no, the boogosphere. The boogosphere.
The boogosphere. The booger sphere.
It's a straight booger. And listen, they said that they tried to use whatever kind of X-ray, you know what I'm saying, technology to look inside.
They use like a what's it called, a damn they use what's it called? How could you put first of all, they said they used, was it an MRI or a CAT scan?
Yeah, they used something.
Wait, hold on. You know, when I think about how that couldn't happen, an MRI or was it a CAT scan? I heard a person had a necklace on.
Yeah.
During a CAT scan and walked into the room and the fucking or during the MRI ripped his whole head off. Yeah, because the magnetism of the whole thing.
Because the magnetism. So we're gonna put.
Well, how could you put a whole entire spear? That
why would we don't even know what's inside of it, right? Right, according to them, right? But
you would do that. Why would you even risk you're staying in the room watching?
When they actually did it, they tried to make a claim like, oh, we can see that there's this little space inside and this, that, and the other. Don't you know this guy right here took a video of an X-ray of a bowling ball, and it was exactly the same shit that's inside of it's literally a fucking bowling fucking ball. And y'all niggas think Anunnaki done farted out a turd. All right, let me play a little. Yo,
booger's hanging on string.
Expect people to believe that potentially this has been created by extraterrestrials with seriously advanced technology. Like, bro, this is not good carving. Look at the jankiness of the tool use up here. Here's a close-up of that section. Look at this. This was shared by a Twitter user called Patrick Jackson, and he says regarding the boogosphere, it looks like the pattern was marked out first and then filled in afterward, which might explain the areas that were accidentally missed. To be completely honest, I wish the boogosphere team well and genuinely hope they're able to gather data or samples that can be independently verified. As things stand, I'm 80% convinced it's a hoax. But I'm open to be proven wrong. Let's see how this unfolds. And I'm kind of with him there. I'm happy to be proven wrong. But I look at details like this and, dude, this looks janky as hell. Okay, that doesn't look good. And there's other elements like down here where you see the line just getting really close to that other spherical object here. It's not good craftsmanship, okay? And the center here looks cool and technical because obviously they got inspired by like a circuit board or something. That's easier to do. Those are straight lines. You can mount those sphere and get straight lines in there, right? Easier to do. The curvatures, tricky. To get those to look absolutely perfect is a tricky one. So the way the craftsmanship and the carving has been done onto the sphere kind of gave it away for me early. And I was like, nah, not buying it. But that's not all. Because the boogosphere has been X-rayed, okay? Here you have certificate saying interior of the boogosphere. These impressive CT images. Okay, CT, X-ray, you don't get one. We looked inside the boogosphere. Show something surprising inside the enigmatic sphere. Internal structure that appears designed with a cylindrical and asymmetrical shape, as if something was connecting the center to the poles. Few logical leaps we're making here in this post, I feel, based on these X-rays. I mean, there's clearly something inside which is interesting. You can see these indentations here that go circular around it. But here's what people found out when looking at these X-rays and at this shape that revealed itself when X-raying or looking into the Booga sphere. It's very similar to the inside of bowling balls, okay? And beyond that, bowling balls also have the additional ring around here, which we saw as well, right? There was like a material ring sitting around it, and then this weird cone shape, for lack of a better word, structure inside. So what you see here are pictures of bowling balls cut in half, okay?
Oh
and before
God,
people say, yeah, well, how could it be a bowling ball, right? If people say it's been suspended from a drone or something, is way too heavy for a drone. It's like, yeah, dude, nobody has compelling video that I've seen of these guys literally filming this object landing and then them walking up to it and picking this object up. So it's clear this is a seamless transition between that thing in the air is also the thing they found. Okay, we don't have this. We have the object they found on the ground and the video of the thing in the sky. Are they the same? We don't know. You just have to acknowledge this. They could be, maybe they are. Anyway, I would say this is a pretty close match. These cone shapes inside the bowling ball. I mean, look at this one up here. Dude, this is almost identical, in my personal opinion, at least, right? Again, is it a bowling ball? Maybe it's not. Maybe they put something around the bowling ball to get this effect. But because we just had this press conference, we got close pictures of it, sharp pictures of the sphere itself, right? Even you take it with like today's smartphone and good lighting, you will get a lot of detail out of those pictures. Here's one of those. This is not the sharpest, forgive me. I think it's cropped out of a larger picture. But what do you notice? Astral on Twitter posts this as well. Says, does it concern anyone else that the row of holes look like my kid drilled them during shop class? Anyone? Even. They look janky as hell as well. Listen. If you want to fake
shout out to the German using
extraterrestrial silver sphere that looks like it was created by an advanced technology, you can't be like, oh well, I'm gonna put a few holes in there. Let me just roughly eyeball that thing, you know. And then the two last holes they don't line up. It's like, oh well, dude, you got to do the math. Okay, you got to do the math, but they clearly didn't do the math, so it looks janky as hell. But when looking at it even closer, you realize the holes are not even holes. They are just like roughly painted black paint spots on this scratched sphere. And I'm like, do we still think this is aliens? Do we still? How does this exactly unfold? Does the alien sit down and they're like, that's how they speak, right? I speak alien a little bit with a thick German accent, which basically translates to, let me just paint like a few black dots or something on this drone sphere hyper advanced technology that we have here. I'm just gonna, like, how does this unfold? How do these aliens, or are they like kind of ancient aliens, no pun intended, that do have advanced technology, but they still paint their face, right? And it's like this weird mixture of modern technology and tribalism, something like that. I guess we'll never know. But these images, bro, these images are so revealing. And it does make one wonder why they don't just take samples. If this is paint, this is clearly a material that was painted or put on top of this sphere. Why don't you take a sample of that material and get that analyzed? Dude, if this is alien, if this was made on a different planet, surely something within this alien paint would not look terrestrial. But if the paint analyzes to be an exact match to some form of terrestrial paint, that would tell us a lot. So, I wonder why they didn't do that yet and analyze that paint. And then there's also this tweet from a man called Ronnie Vernet. Okay, he says, I firmly believe the Booga sphere is a customized rocket fuel tank. The internal volume of approximately 9 liters aligns with the widely available commercial specifications, which also explains its construction from aerospace-grade aluminium alloy. And he shares these two pictures here. On the left-hand side, you can see a rocket fuel tank, and then on the right-hand side, the Booga sphere. And you have to see the similarities here, right? It is almost identical. The little indentations in the center here, the holes, or in this case, the painted spots. And he also suggests, I guess, is what he's saying here, that they often...
Can we come back to Earth? Can we come back to reality? Back to life. Back to reality. Right? Niggas! I need y'all to wake up. Wake up, everybody. You know, I'm going to start singing and everything.
Right.
You know I'm going to start singing on everything.
Right. Wake up.
Come on, y'all. Come on, stop. Let's stop. And do not feed this shit to your children. oh, you know, the black Anunnakis are coming back to save us from Mr. Charlie. No, no, there's a giant on the land, and his name is Trump. That is the giant on the land. He is doing things that he should not do without being checked. Where is the checks and balances? What's that dude? Reverend Dookie Juice. Breaking all of the laws of the Constitution and talking about you all American. But y'all want us to believe in a bowling ball. I'm done. I'm just going to sing the songs I like to sing until the earth fucking blows up. Because ain't none of y'all niggas going to fucking goddamn fix your face. So I might as well just sing my heart out until it all goes down. Till it all goes down. I'm coming you up. All falls down. That's everything. You gotta throw the yeah, you gotta have that. So yeah, we are done. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. Go ahead, sis. All
right. So hell, even Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think he had the same sentiment. Yeah. He had the same kind of sentiment as you do. Okay, if the aliens are here, let them bring them on. You know what I'm saying? Bring them on up. Bring them out. Bring them out. Let's hear what you got to say.
And they raise an age-old question: are we alone in the universe? Now, dozens of videos showing unidentified objects were declassified, including this one from 2013, shows a star-like object apparently floating in the sky. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson has some ideas on the search for life beyond Earth, or maybe their search for us. They appear in his new book, Take Me to Your Leader, Perspectives on Your First Alien Encounter with Me. You can get it by scanning that QR code. And here with us, we have...
Wait, hold on for a second.
I am, man.
Wait, what leader we taking him to?
He said whatever.
What leader are we taking the aliens to?
I don't know which one.
We gonna take him to Trump so he can shit on himself?
Lord,
and try to touch their pussy? That's the leader we bring him to?
Right. Which leader do we bring the aliens to? The special leader that we need to that's going to.
Masters of the Universe movie.
Ow! My son.
They said from Skeleton.
Oh my God! They said this new Masters of the Universe movie is dope. Yeah. I want to see it. Go ahead.
Alien.
I learned it on Mars. Yeah. All right. So, who did you pay at the Pentagon to release the UFO documents? Just as your book is.
Hard any questions? Yeah, man.
Yo, I love Neil. I love Neil.
Does this tell us anything? Reveal anything we didn't know already?
Well, we had 3 years worth of people from deep within government, not only security agencies, but the military, testifying as whistleblowers or as in whatever other capacity, under oath, telling us basically everything we're reading in these files now, that they've been seen, things we don't understand, and some might be in a locked shed. So I'm kind of saying, all right, it's a little bit anticlimactic.
Okay.
Why don't you just bring out the alien? Then nobody has to believe anything.
Right.
I don't have to believe that they exist because you'll have the alien walking the halls of Congress. Right. Then we get on with our lives.
I think one of the premises of your book is that if aliens have the kind of intelligence that can transport them from thousands, millions, billions of light years away.
Billions.
Well, it could be billions of light years.
Yeah.
It could be not far. They could be in our galaxy.
If they open up a wormhole, then you just step through.
Right.
By the way, if they have wormhole technology, then there are no UFOs because they just step through and they're there.
Don't need no
like Rick and Morty, you just step through.
Yeah.
Rick doesn't use a spaceship.
Right.
And that's the idea. They would reveal themselves to us rather than us happen to spot them
To
by
just spot
accident.
them.
I'm just thinking, I just ask a whole other set of questions. It's a little odd.
Peace,
that
YS
they
millennial.
happen to only show up at military installations.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in the mind of the aliens.
Right.
You know, maybe they want to monitor our the nuke capacity.
Right.
The whole movie's on this. The Day the Earth Stood Still was all about that.
A few years ago, we were at our studio at 1550 in Times Square, and I cornered you during the commercial break on your way out, and I said, tell me, do we have aliens? Because I believe, tell me, do we have aliens? And you said to me, listen, with all this technology we have, I mean, we have a phone in our hands that can capture high definition images and videos of anything that we pointed at. Why don't we have evidence that we cannot dispute? And you weren't saying yes or no, but you were saying you need to see more. So I'm asking you, with files, more files to come, more videos to come, what do you need to see to have that evidence that gives you clear-cut evidence that they do exist?
Fork up the alien. Is that too much to ask?
Plain and simple.
Physical alien
It's
on
a
the
Haiti-
super
wait,
platter.
wait, wait,
On
wait,
the
wait,
Haiti platter.
wait, pause.
It could be, yeah, it could be a porcelain platter.
Pause for a second. What he just did was file what is called a habeas corpus. That is a habeas corpus petition. What he just said, fork up the alien. Why do we keep on getting these janky ass videos with no real evidence, with nothing tangible? I'm filing a habeas corpus. I want to see fucking goddamn ET. I want to see, since we know everything,
Right.
since we think we know every goddamn thing, show me. Show me.
Show me.
You know what
Fork
I'm
up the
saying?
alien, alive or dead or undead,
Okay.
preferably alive.
Right.
And then we can all say, we can all look at it and we can do tests on it.
Right.
And no longer would anyone ever more have to say, do you believe in aliens? Any more than anyone says, do you believe in elephants? Imagine only a few dozen people had ever seen an elephant and they were describing it in Congress. There's a big rubber hose coming out the front and two teeth sticking out the side, and it's got ears the size of bed sheets, and the legs are the size of tree trunks.
Yeah.
And I swear it's alive. That's kind of, you'd be skeptical. But then, so they just roll out the elephant. Okay, we're done here. On to the next questions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also think that's assuming that aliens are not so advanced that they would have been gotten cut, right? Maybe they're just looking at us saying like, oh God, these peasants. But
Yeah,
let's say that
I'm thinking that's
Right,
probably at
right.
least some of that going on out there.
but you have this wonderful book, Take Me to Your Leader, Perspectives of Your First Alien Encounter, to basically, prep us if
Yeah,
we do.
it's really a celebration of all the imagination we've had
Yeah.
about aliens in our pop culture, in our movies, in our television shows. So what I do is I analyze what properties, what powers, what levels of intellect have manifested in what we've created, and to see how realistic that is, what is possible, what is not, so that when they arrive, you can have some sense of what shaped them in the
Right.
forces of the universe.
To that point, though, that we've seen so many representations of them movies. What do you
Yes.
What do you think they look like?
Well, I'm worried about the big old eyeball alien,
Right.
because I did a calculation on that. If their brains are in the same skull as their eyeballs, if the eyeballs are that big, it leaves less room for brains.
Ah.
And so,
Oops.
and it's not only aliens, but it's also like many Disney characters, like Elsa and Frozen.
Yeah.
Right.
Big old
Big
eyeballs.
eyes.
So they'd have smaller brains
Big
like
eyes.
horses. So I worry that the aliens might be stupider than you think. And plus, they might startle easily.
There's a fun.
Pause for a second. Pause for a second.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Neil has a piece of advice for anybody encountering an alien, which is resist shaking what looks like a hand.
Oh,
Okay, so we have an affinity towards large eyes. And where do we get that from? From our love for our babies.
Mm.
When we have little babies, their eyes are bigger. You know what I'm saying? They're huge. And there's so much love and joy, so much love and sensitivity in those eyes, and so the manipulation of the imagery of aliens comes from our own subconscious mind that is drawn towards large eyes. We love babies. I love babies.
And you know, why do they all have like these small childlike bodies, like childlike bodies? I mean, when I look at my daughter, I like say she's like a little gray.
Anunnaki. I thought they were supposed to be Anunnaki and Nephilim, which would make them giants. Why is their body small and their heads big like a baby, and they have these big old freaking daggone adorable eyeballs?
Adorable eyeballs. Adorable. Why are the eyeballs adorable?
Why? You know what I'm saying? Because it's our subconscious mind superimposing anthropomorphic images that we have an affinity towards and placing it on something that does not exist beyond our imagination. But I'm going to tell you this, our imagination is very powerful. It is a realm. It is an alternate reality that is no less real to the person experiencing it than the person who's not seeing freaking daggone space babies. We are stuck in our own heads, and there are people who know how to manipulate. Neil deGrasse Tyson actually used to work in Long Island when I was a kid. I used to go to they had a planetarium, and he worked there when I was a kid. Every year they used to take us on field trips, and I got to meet Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm wondering if he actually has some family roots with my my grandmother, because he actually looks like my other uncle Reggie on my grandmother's side. He looks like a family member. So, but he was also on Long Island for a long time at the planetarium, and then went to Manhattan in the city, you know what I'm saying, to those planetariums and stuff, and has gotten extremely famous, you know what I'm saying. But I know him. I've met him. I've been in his presence. You know what I'm saying? Like as a little kid. And the dude never freaking blew smoke up our asses. He gave us, you know what I'm saying, real information and kept us grounded in reality. And so I have a huge respect for Neil deGrasse Tyson. But go ahead. I got to go to the store real quick. Can you fly for a minute? And I got my e-bike. I'll be back in like maybe 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And we know what I'll do is I'm gonna play. Well, you gonna be listening to, or you gonna be just driving and gonna come back?
I'm gonna fly real fast. I won't be able to hear. Maybe you can just give me a rundown when I come back.
I'm gonna play a little bit of Neil deGrasse, and then I'm gonna go into Floor Burn, and then I'm gonna go grab my daughter. So maybe when you come back in 10, I go grab my daughter. You keep the show going, and I'll come back and we'll keep
copy.
Give
me a minute. I'll be right back. I'm gonna throw my shoes and stuff on. I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, you don't know if there's something there. Don't grab it and shake it.
Don't grab the.
You don't know what part of the anatomy that is. And I don't think you want to know. No, we have traditions when we have first encounters, and it might not be the tradition of the alien. And if the alien has habits of our dog.
You say we listen. We got traditions where we reach out and grab and shake somebody's hand.
Right. I love Bill, man. Bill is
out. Don't grab it and shake it.
Right.
That's crazy. He said we have traditions.
Dogs, for example, the first thing that they do is come around and sniff your butt. Yeah. And you're gonna think that's weird, but not to the alien.
And we're gonna end it right there. Yes, guys, so thanks so much. Take me to your leader perspectives on your first alien goes on sale tomorrow. And there's the QR code.
And Neil deGrasse
he said they're gonna come around and sniff your butt. You know what I'm saying?
You can tell he don't believe none of this shit. He like, I don't believe
None of it.
Shit.
None of it. None of it.
I don't believe that.
Not an ounce. Not an ounce of it. No, he doesn't. And we also, here's one of the things he had said. He said, yeah, okay, copy, Deeks. Yeah, he grew up in Castle Hill. Ave. Okay, so that makes sense because he was working very diligently in Babylon. I think it's like Deer Park, where we had the planetarium. I don't know if it's still there. I forget the name of the planetarium in Deer Park on Long Island. So he was working there, and he was also in the city. Like one time we had gone to the planetarium, we saw Neil, you know what I'm saying, as kids, you know what I'm saying, jumping off the bus, and oh, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. We didn't know he was going to be famous, right? You know what I'm saying? He was just the black guy who worked at the planetarium. And then later on, you know what I'm saying, we took a school trip to like the museum there's a museum in New York, and he was there again. And I'm like, nigga, you doing the thing, huh? You doing the damn thing. How are you here? And you was over there just, you know what I'm saying, a couple of years ago. So, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Neil. But he is a brother that we really need to pay attention to. Now, I am a spiritual person, but I'm not freaking out of sanity. I'm grounded in reality, right? Because science, and then my spiritual part, I understand psychology, Unc West, evolution is not the end all to the discussion. And you just calling people pseudos and stuff because we explore different areas of our psychological mind does not minimize us as intellectual beings. But yeah, I'm about to jump on this bike real quick. Okay?
Right, I'm about to leave too. By the time you,
all right. I'm going now.
So
all
we
right.
have just had what's being described as a release of UFO or UAP files from Washington, D.C. And a lot of people have been reacting to this already. There's been, there was, I think, maybe some excitement, definitely a lot of disappointment in the aftermath of it. A lot of speculation about what all of this means. So I decided to do something very simple. I just went through the material, as much of it as I could, not all of it, but enough to get a very clear sense of what we are dealing with. And what I would like to do here is just walk you through what I have seen, not with hype, but not with dismissal either. I did look at a number of comments on some other videos and descriptions of this, and there's definitely a lot of anger and disappointment among people in the UFO community. Just, you know, which understandable. I mean, this is because what we're seeing in this is the first tranche, I guess, of release files, 161 files in this first group. I'll show you the website. I've got it linked below. I definitely would encourage you to go through these folders on your own. It's not that difficult. You can download them.
Let me tell you something. These files are just as anticlimactic as the Epstein files. I mean, the Epstein files probably have more climactic moments where it's like, oh, somebody, you know what I'm saying? This is like, what? Like, okay. Y'all still hiding, y'all still lie, y'all lying.
And review them for yourself. I'm going to go through this with you. But I think, you know, once you go through these, you start seeing a pattern, and it's not quite the pattern that maybe a lot of people were expecting. The first thing that I would say about this is that this is not a clean single category release of files. It's not just modern military encounters. It's not just classified material being suddenly revealed. In fact, none of it that's been out there, I think, is really going to be explosive. What you actually have, though, is a mixture. You have, I was not expecting this when I first looked through. You got a lot of very early FBI documents from 1947 and through the 1950s. Okay, I mean, all of those, I think probably all of those have already long since been released through Freedom of Information. You get newspaper clippings from the 1950s and 1960s. You get some space era material from the Gemini and Apollo missions. Some of those are a little bit interesting. You get a lot of PDF and video files of recent cases. We'll get to those as well, at least a couple of those. And a couple of FBI image files of some unknown objects, which you can look at those. A couple of anomalistic in the sense of this release, like it's got the French Cometa report from 1999 in here. It's like, what is that doing in this? That's a French report. This is an American government release, supposedly. So there's certain things in there that just don't really make a lot of sense logically. So right away, you're not looking at a single stream of any kind of new information. There's some new information in there, but you're really looking at a curated collection. And quite a bit of that material has been publicly available for many years. So that's important to keep in mind. I'll just show you some of these here. If you go back to some of the earliest material, you got some 1947 FBI documents here. You see something very familiar. Basically, reports come in. People see objects. The FBI logs the reports.
Hey, DJ.
And then, very often, they just pass the matter along. In one case.
Genesis? Hey, love. So I'm about to jump on the bike. I'm leaving my son here. I don't have a lawn for him to cut. So to make him do shit. So this is what I'm making him do. He's going to chime in on the video when he feels like he hears something. You know what I'm saying? And it's our star.
Okay.
It's gonna pop his head in sometime. Okay. Okay. Say what's up to everybody. Introduce yourself.
Hi.
Yeah, it's okay.
I was all right.
That's my son, Nazar. We call him Czar Star.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he's got some things to say about the whole, world of worlds thing and some of this thing. My son he's brilliant, yo. He blows my mind sometimes. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, son? I'm jumping on the bike. And do you need anything? Snack? Chocolate or something? Oh. Okay, I'll figure it out. All right.
What's your son's name again? What's your son's name again?
Nazari is his name. We call him Czar Star. Nazari, like Nazir, Nas.
Hey, Nazar. All right, so we're going into the actual files and what they discovered, okay? And then at any point, just say pause, and I'll pause it, and you can make a statement because you probably know way more about this than I do. You know way.
He got it.
Okay, all right. Shouts out. All right, so here we go.
They say essentially this is not within our jurisdiction. They refer it to the Army Air Forces, and that's it. No conclusion, no deeper analysis, just move the information through the system. Most of this has been out for many, many decades. If you are a serious UFO student, UAP student, you're not going to see anything in here that's new to you. So now it's fine that these are in the officially released by the U.S. government. Fine. They've already been available through the National Archives system. So, you really have to wonder what is the big deal here. A couple of these were interesting, and I assume they have been publicly available, but I don't really know. This is one page from the file or the folder on the famous green fireball sightings of 1950, primarily 1950 in the state of New Mexico. Those were real, legit, genuine sightings, and there's a lot of the specific events that were listed in pages like this in this particular file. It's like, that's great. For historical research purposes, it's useful. Really nothing that I think people today are dying to see. This is 75 years later. Although I would certainly emphasize that period of activity was and remains, in my opinion, genuinely anomalous. You have newspaper clippings, at least some. Here's a couple. These are from the late 1950s. They have an article on Carl Jung, the great psychiatrist. Like, okay, great. We know Carl Jung had an interest in this subject. He wrote a book about UFOs toward the end of his life. Great. The fact that this is part of the release, who really cares? Some of the other newspaper articles, like the one next to it, that's interesting for historical purposes and kind of fun to read. I wouldn't be dismissive of it. Really, what you see in a lot of this is essentially the public layer. So you get headlines about some waves of sightings. Some of these newspaper articles, I think, go into the 1960s. You get some radar cases, some pilot encounters, and then even in the newspapers, you can see followed by immediate attempts to explain everything away: mirages, weather, balloons, whatever kind of misidentification. It's in these newspaper accounts. So interesting on that basis. So even in the early period, you already have you can see in this release, as a historian, there are several elements in place. You have the observations, you can see the institutional handling of those observations, and you get to see the public narrative already here. And they obviously don't quite line up. There's a number of documents dealing with the 1960s, particularly space era events. You've got Gemini, you've got Apollo. These are interesting because now you're dealing with astronauts, highly trained observers, operating in a very different kind of environment. Take Gemini 7.
Before we go into Gemini 7, is there anything you want to say so far about? So what he's doing is he's revealing what was showed in the file so far, and it's going back to like the 70s, and some of that stuff is like anticlimactic. Like, okay, so what? You know, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have any thoughts. So far, it sounds very good. The one thing that I had a real thought about was when he mentioned something green, because in the book, The War of the Worlds, the cylinders land down with green gas, and the green flash and stuff.
Interesting, right? So let's go. Okay.
This case has been well known for many, many, many years, since it happened in 1965, in fact. The actual Gemini mission transcripts have existed forever in like NASA archives, and I think the published mission transcript collections, National Archives holdings, and, private.
So what it sounds like to me is that Trump didn't release anything that was really substantial. He released things that were already put out in different archives already, and then tried to make it like he was releasing something. Let's go.
Researcher circulations. We've had this for a long time. So the U.S. government is releasing it again. It's still interesting. If you're not familiar with it, this is 1965. They report what they call a bogey at 10 o'clock. They're looking at something. They're tracking it. They're trying to identify it. There's also a field of particles around them. And again, there's no dramatic conclusion. There's an observation. There's discussion. There's uncertainty. It's interesting. Could be anomalous for all we know, but that's really it. Anyway, that is in there. When I was looking through it, I saw a folder on Apollo 11. That was definitely interesting. And in fact, this was kind of fun to go through. The Apollo 11 mission, I mean, obviously, that's probably the most well-known astronaut mission of all time. And I was interested in what this, because over time, there was an incident that was discussed by Buzz Aldrin starting in 2005 that got a lot of media attention. And so this, in fact, you can see this is the cover page, and it says in the top corner, 251 pages. That would have been great. There's actually only 11 pages in this particular release. So, all right, whatever. But what you get there is they are describing, and Buzz Aldrin talked about this in 2005, on their way to the moon. So they're out of Earth orbit, and they describe, and this document is from July, the end of July 1969, after they've returned. So they're talking about this at the time. And I was not aware of seeing this. This may have been available. Probably NASA scholars can correct me on this. I was not aware of this, however, so it was fun for me to read. So they describe seeing an object on the way to the moon. It's not just a point of light. They're seeing something with a structure. At times, it looked cylindrical. At times, it looked like two connected rings. At times, it appeared even hollow, depending on the angle and how they were viewing it. And they're looking at it through a monocular. They're studying it. They're trying to make sense of what they are seeing. You can read the whole transcript in the on the website, of course. Download the file and just read it. There's genuine puzzlement in the discussion after the fact. Like, they don't immediately say this is part of our spacecraft. They're trying to work it out in real time, and they're considering the possibilities. They compare it to known components. They're clearly not satisfied at first with any simple explanation. Over the course of that discussion, and later, they settle on what they regarded as the most likely explanation, that it was related to their own hardware, a panel, something from the booster, maybe reflecting sunlight in a way that's giving them this unusual appearance. But, and this was what Buzz Aldrin said in 2005, many years later. That got turned, and I remember this very well, that got turned into a very big thing because he put that out there as an odd sighting. And then like the next day or right after it, he said, no, it was probably part of our own craft. And people took that as like, oh, they got to Buzz. But what you can see in this initial discussion is that they're kicking around all the possibilities right here, right away. So the observation was not trivial. This might actually, it might really be, when I read this over, I thought this really might just be what they were, looking at, part of their own booster. But it's unknown. We don't really know. It's hard to know. Like, you're in.
See, here's the thing. The bottom line is they don't even know what the hell they're looking at.
Yeah.
In space, they're getting freaked out in their own mind. Is there aliens? Is there a UFO? What's this? What's going on? What's your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest. A wide grin, like ear to ear, just appeared on my face when he said cylindrical.
Right. So why? Why do you say that?
Because in the novel The War of the Worlds, the ships the Martians come down in are these like giant cylinders that like crash down, and then they unscrew.
Have you ever heard of this thing called The White Mountains? It's a book called The White Mountains.
The White Mountains?
Yeah, it's a book called The White Mountains. So they made us read a book called The White Mountains, and it was about these kind of alien craft that actually were tripods. But have you never heard of it? Never mind. But it's interesting. Go ahead.
That's like the entire premise of The War of the Worlds.
The
War of the Worlds is talking about the Martians coming down from space and attacking with tripedal machines.
Yeah, so it was called tripods. White Mountains was based on this thing called tripods. And there's a whole book. Go read White Mountains. That's going to really blow your mind. Yep. And how they would bring people up and do experiments on them and put them back down. And there was like this whole thing. Go read the book called The White Mountains. You had to read it in high school when I was growing up, but now it's banned. It's a banned book. White Mountains, 1984, all those books are banned now. But it's interesting that now you say the War of the World was about like tripedal type of a thing. Ooh. Right. So let's go into because let's go into what Floorborn have to say. This is interesting. Let's go.
Okay, they definitely took inspiration from the book.
Well, White Mountains was a very old book that came out way before War of the World. Wow. Interesting. Go check that book out. That book existed way longer. Hold on.
Real quick, as we get started. It says the Pentagon releases declassified UFO files, including videos and photos held by the government for decades. So Trump told us this was getting ready to go down, family. He told us after Obama was talking about aliens on that podcast. Yes. Trump said that he was going to have a full disclosure. So let me just read a little bit of this. This is the NBC News website. It says the Pentagon on Friday began releasing never before seen files relating to unidentified anomalous phenomenon, previously and more infamously known as unidentified flying objects or UFOs, that the government has been holding on to for decades. The files have been a source of intrigue and fascination for generations of skeptical Americans wondering if we're alone in the universe. The release came nearly a month after Trump gave a sneak preview of possible contents, telling a conservative gathering that some very interesting documents will be released by the Department of Defense very soon. The first batch is on this website, y'all, www.war.gov/UFO. And you can access it there. Let me just skip down a little bit. So these are some of the images. This is right here, this image right here. You can see this white orb going through these windmills at a very fast pace. It says the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon consisting of 1 minute and 39 seconds of video from an infrared sensor aboard a U.S. military platform in 2024. So this was in 2024. Okay. And by the way, the files was over 160 files, and it's detailing more than 400 incidents from around the world, family, going all the way back to the 1940s. This image right here, Flebron, they saying this is from a landing site of Apollo 12, and it features a highlighted area above the horizon in which you see like a line, a vertical line of blue lights. Another one from the moon shows a triangular formation that was made by, I guess, those same blue lights, and that is supposedly on the moon as well, Apollo 17 mission. That's it.
Hold on. So World of the Worlds was.
Yeah, it was released in 1897.
And White Mountains released in 1967. Okay, so maybe they got that from.
According to my search, it said released on April 1st, 1967. So.
Oh wow! So maybe okay. Listen, hey, shouts out to the research, right? So World of the Worlds, and then White Mountains came out after that, and it was based on the tripod. So maybe they got their story, but they made us read that in high school. I'm 48 years old. They made us read that in high school in 1993. White Mountains, not the World of the Worlds. So did they make you guys read World of the Worlds in high school, or was that like a you had to read that?
Well, last year they made us read a book about the War of the Worlds.
They made you read that, so it was like that was you had to you had to do a report on that and everything, huh?
Like just like a quick thing we were talking about it, and I'm pretty sure from a lot of sources, H.G. Wells is kind of like referred to as like the main like father of like the generic alien invasion thing, where they like, just come out and start blasting with heat waves and stuff.
Oh, okay. So you taught me something. I thought that White Mountains was a really old book, but it wasn't as old as I thought it was. That's crazy. You just taught me something. Listen, from the mouth of babes. Listen, they'll teach you something. Shouts out. How old are you, son?
I am 13 years old.
Yes, shouts out. See, and listen, they had us reading those type of books and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? 13, reading books about aliens in high school. So I don't know if they were training us to get ready for it in high school, even at our age. And Big Brother 1984, I had to read 1984. I had to read White Mountains, and it all had like these kind of like alien type of or Big Brother like things that are right now happening. So, and now you're reading World of the Worlds. That's interesting that they're doing that. Let's go.
1972, and you know what I want to show before as we get to start show started with LeBron. I want to start out and I want to show this just to start the thing off. Hold up, where's it at? This 8-pointed star. Yeah, I want that. Let me rewind that a little bit.
Yes.
8-pointed star. Yeah, so with that being said, I just definitely wanted to show that one for LeBron. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people are going through different emotions.
No, did you see that particular
pointed
UFO?
Star?
See that? What do you think about that UFO? Is that like something that was also mentioned
with that being said, I just definitely wanted to show that one for.
Was that mentioned in World of the Worlds like a 8-pointed star type of like
Well,
UFO?
I don't think it was described as an 8-pointed star. The only craft that we ever see like in action are the cylinders when they crash down. But there is like a mention of a flying machine, but I don't think we see it as an 8-pointed star.
Because my initial question was, are all these UAPs really astral projected bodies in deep meditation? Now, you know, your dad was like, no, but I said, well, okay, because he doesn't believe in astral projection. But I'm like, you know, I don't know. Let's go. I was like, well, it could be though, but never mind.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people are going through different emotions. You've been in this for a while.
Yeah, over 30 years.
You showing off now. You showing off now. Okay. What's your thoughts on this recent release?
I think what they're doing is a slow rollout of old things that are some valid, some reverse engineered technology that has been used by our Willy Wonka. Well, can I say government? Our government officials. You have to realize we have had tons of footage, and I don't know if you remember back in the days, there used to be this site called MUFON where you could report your findings. So if you saw a UFO, if you saw something abnormal, if you saw something that you can identify, you could contact this hotline or go to this website and basically give the details of whatever you witnessed. That was MUFON. That was one of our that was one of the ways that the government was able to capture what people were seeing, sometimes unbeknownst to them. Now, what I will say is 150, to my understanding, 150 of those files are redacted, meaning that they haven't released everything. They're giving you like little bits and pieces of information. And remember, a lot of the footage that is really of the actual extraterrestrials, of actual beings, of the Norman Brogram picture that was in the Pentagon on the walls, we still have yet to see them release that, with a big black man with a turban who looks very like a Moor or someone who we would perceive to be Moorish, right? So even though we're seeing a rollout of information and Trump has said that he's going to release all the files, there's still a lot of edited and things that are hidden that are not being released. And I think it's to kind of slow roll information in, because as I've said to you, Rich, we have beings that are on site. And I actually think the gentleman who came many years ago that the government was most concerned about, which was Simeon Toko, which many of you know was witnessed to be a being that was, many people compare him to Jesus, saying that this was, I think he was in Africa at the time when he came, and he was able to do many different supernatural.
Have you heard of Simeon Toko?
I'm back. And what the hell is this woman talking about?
No, hold on. Have you heard of Simeon Toko?
Have I seen him?
Have you heard of him?
Is there a video?
Well, let's hear what the story is. I don't
know.
No,
because she over here flapping gums about shit she don't have no evidence for. That's the problem. I think. See, we got to pay attention to key words. I believe they said none of that is admissible in the court of law. Objection. I'm filing a motion.
So hold on. They actually
I'm filing a motion in lemony to remove this black woman from freaking daggone further freaking daggone pumping daggone schizotypal madness into our people. Like, shut up, woman. Habeas corpus. Show me the body. Where is he? Let me talk.
Hold on. I'm uploading the video.
She's just gonna sit over here and flap her jowls for another 5 minutes about shit she can't prove.
Okay, well, hold on. I'm uploading the video. Let's go into it. Let's get it.
No.
Hold on. While she let's
acts. He had telepathy. He was using telekinesis. He was able to use these abilities, and he was a very loving soul. And when the government got wind of it, they procured this entity, this being, and they attempted to assassinate him. And when they did so, they figured that they would get rid of the problem of a black. I have to say that. I like to say melanated, but for everyone to understand, this is a brown extraterrestrial. This is a melanated being that looks like our people in the United States. But you can.
All right. So I found
Show me the money.
All right. Okay. All right. Here we go.
It is genuinely recounted by witnesses that Simeon Toko appeared before people in an apparitional body and in dream states while he was physically alive. At least one witness who was hired to kill him said he personally killed this man, quite professionally, as a hired killer, and saw him alive again a few days later. Others still living at the time of this writing said that they saw Toko physically slaughtered and watched him bring himself back to life before their astonished eyes. There is a very large body of evidence, of which only a little has yet been recorded or written down from eyewitnesses. This is the story of the man who single-handedly gave defeat to the Belgian.
Objection! Now
Simeon Toko or Simo Toko.
Go ahead.
What the hell was that?
Well, I didn't. You didn't even let me finish the whole thing. He was going to break it down.
Is that supposed to be evidence?
Well, no. This was the story of that. It was going to break down the story of the Simeon.
You know what goose in the story is? Remember when I talked about my ice cream truck? Like, there's part truths in it, right? But I embellished a little bit when I talked about sliding over the hood of a moving car, right?
Okay.
This is gassing us. See, we have to be careful, yo. Y'all know what schizotypal does? Schizotypal, you look like you can actually talk and function like you are, you know what I'm saying, not mentally ill. However, it's people who have schizotypal disorder have amazing imaginations, right? Not that imaginations are great are bad. We should have imaginations, but these people actually believe that their imaginations are real. And then they talk to you like a normal human being, tell you some shit that they can't prove, and say it in such a way that's so convincing that you're over here now thinking that, you know what I'm saying, you're about to get your booty probed by a fucking goddamn a brown fucking alien. Nigga, stop! Shut up, woman! Oh! Alright, I'm going. I'm going. I'm mute out. I'm mute out. Oh my god. Look, Zarstar, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Where we at right now? We in fucking science fiction.
One of the chapters.
Go ahead.
So the people.
Oh, now
So
you're right.
this is the guy. Hold on. So this is the guy known as Simeon Toko. So this is a real person that they're saying that they believe was the Black Jesus alien creature that they. So this is a real story of a real person that they have pictures of that they're saying at one point was an alien. He came back together. And
no! No! Just no! How about no? How about no?
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, is you're saying
now we gotta believe it.
Well, I'm not because he's not gonna believe it.
We gotta believe it.
No, it's just that you're saying that they're that show us
That's
images
not
of the
evidence.
But no. You're saying it. No, the evidence is
it's a picture of a random nigga that they're putting a story to without no evidence to support the story.
Wait, what is he showing picture? Wait, what is that? A alien head? What are we?
I'm just showing a plushie of Wally. Wow, it's all Pixar film.
Yeah, because we in Pixar land now. We in Pixar land now.
Okay, all right. So listen, stop yelling so I can tell the story of Simeon Toko real quick for people that don't know about him.
Simeon Toko for a minute. For those that aren't aware who this gentleman is, this guy actually displayed actual powers and abilities, all right? The Cabal made several attempts on Simeon Toko's life and were unsuccessful executing him. Simeon Toko is the personification of what we're going to become when this cosmic green Ethereal energy engulf us and activate our deoxyetheric acid. This is why it's important to tap into your true primordial mind and remove the glasses that the Matrix wants you to wear. Simeon Toko was referred to as the Black Jesus or the real Jesus. Now, Simeon Toko helped liberate the Congo from the Portuguese. His timeline is from 1918 to 1984. There's stories of Simeon Toko actually stopping a plane in midair, okay? Which means that Simeon Toko had to have some type of telepathic ability to actually be flying mid-flight and get this plane to actually freeze mid-flight. And Simeon Toko actually did this. Simeon Toko was a miracle worker. They knew he was a miracle worker. And when they caught wind of Simeon Toko, their objective was to come over there and assassinate him. They made several attempts to hurt Simeon Toko, but couldn't hurt him, okay? Simeon Toko literally would regenerate. And at one point, they also chopped Simeon Toko up, right? His body up, scattered his body in different parts, and Simeon Toko still regenerated. When Simeon Toko regenerated, they started yelling, Eo Deus, which means he is God. Stories also indicate that Simeon Toko summoned muscle-bound angels, okay, that appeared in the Congo, and these beings were throwing tanks. Now, Simeon Toko's objective was to actually get the Cabal to realize the treacherous and tumultuous ways, their cynical ways, and what they were doing, all right? And that they were actually going on a path towards destruction. But they wasn't hearing Simeon Toko. So what Simeon Toko told them in his conclusion, he told them, okay, I see I don't understand what I'm saying, but many will return just like me. That's what Simeon Toko told them. And that's the time that's now.
I mean, that's what she's talking about, that story.
I mean, no. There's no evidence of that. He's just putting a freaking a picture up of a random nigga and telling a story that you don't have no verifiable freaking daggone supporting freaking daggone information about. But then you go, well, hold on. But then going to ignore Haile Selassie over in freaking daggone Ethiopia, who actually has genealogy to Jesus. Somehow this nigga is space Jesus. Come on, B. That's
no, hold on.
Come on, B. Like,
so I looked up, did Simeon Toko actually exist?
That doesn't mean that he was an alien or Jesus.
He was a real person, an
Angolan
religious leader born in 1918.
Objection.
Wait, why are aliens and Jesus at the same time?
They're saying aliens and Jesus at the same time, like dude. And none of this, he could have been a real person. Okay. Fuck does that have to do with fucking him being an alien Jesus?
Well, who knows?
Can we prove that he did all of these magical things? We can't even prove that Jesus did it, but somehow they give you an old picture of a random nigga and we gonna believe it. I'm done. I'm done with black folks sometimes, bro.
Why are we talking about?
All right, so here we go.
Space Jesus.
The difference other than him perhaps being tall, and they basically killed him thinking that the problem would stop, that they would not have this being show up, and this being actually was able to reassert himself, almost like that's why they compare him to Jesus, because how Jesus resurrected the concept of Jesus, he was able to reconstitute his body again. And then when he came back to the government, he said, this is what the problem is. I see how you run your planet. He said, you can get rid of me now, but I will come back one day, and I will come back with many, and you can't kill all of us. So this is my personal position. I think the government is trying to get ahead of something because something is coming in, as we saw with the orbs coming in 2025 at the beginning of the year. And now we saw another reenactment of orbs coming into the out of the water, out of the oceans, out into our airspace. They're trying to get ahead of something. I'm not quite sure who and what they're trying to get ahead of, but they're slow rolling information. And I think, Rich, you already heard that they had all of these evangelistic pastors. The government procured all these pastors to have a meeting to prepare their parishioners for the release of extraterrestrial information, because it would perhaps cause, depression, cause people to really question their faith. Because if now you have extraterrestrials, where then does God lie in your mind? Where then does the concept of the Bible and the people in the Bible, where does that lie with you? And I would say this, the Bible is probably a surmise of supernatural beings, some ET and otherwise. So I don't want you to throw that totally out. I think the Bible kind of pulls in some information about beings that were what we perceive to be ETs at one point and made them into something very angelic and religious.
So do you think a new religion will be formed as a result of this? Like, do you think Christianity can never be the same after this release? What do you think happened with the four major religions after this?
Well, I think the point of this is to collapse religion. I think it's purposefully done to collapse religion. I think, if we're to have a one world order, you can't have a multitude of different religions with different mindsets. You would want to have people unified in one belief system. So you would bring in something to captivate the entirety of the planet so that everybody can be on the same accord. So I think some of this is a bit of a psyop. And if you look at some of the footage, you know how I feel about the moon, Rich. I think I've talked about it before. I think, I'm with Dr. Delbert Blair on this. I believe, notice I'm using that word. I believe the moon is a satellite, and the moon is used and was towed here to control the ebb and flow of the planet, and also to put women under control.
All right. So before we get deeper into that, thoughts? You gotta hit mute. You're talking.
Yeah, no is my thought. What's your thoughts, son? What's your thoughts? I'll let my son think for himself.
I'll be honest, I was not paying attention for that part.
No, they were going further into more fucking goddamn unprovable information about a dude, a picture without any verifiable sources to freaking support the argument, just going into what they call bloviating.
I zoned out when they said Jesus. That's my thoughts.
All right, let's go.
That's why women's menses and their body and their
Go into the moon.
Major religions after this.
Well, I think the point of this is to collapse religion. I think it's purposely done to collapse religion. I think, if we're to have a one world order, you can't have a multitude of different religions.
I'm sorry, in case y'all didn't hear it. Let's go. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go right here.
Of supernatural beings, some ET and otherwise. So I don't want you to throw that totally out. I think the Bible kind of pulls in some information about beings that were what we perceive to be ETs at one point and made them into something very angelic and religious.
So do you think a new religion will be formed as a result of this? Like, do you think Christianity can never be the same after this release? What do you think happened with the four major religions after this?
Well, I think the point of this is to collapse religion. I think it's purposely done to collapse religion. I think, if we're to have a one world order, you can't have a multitude of different religions with different mindsets. You would want to have people unified in one belief system. So
I'm not sure if you understand what she's saying. She's saying if we could prove that aliens exist, that UAPs exist, that all these things exist, and that collapses religion as a whole and our belief in religion. And so therefore
saying some basic truths along with a fucking unverifiable lie is what the devil does. Satan, the Lord rebuke you. Right now in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, who ain't no fucking goddamn African dude who came out of fucking
no. We've been past that. We're past that point. But
she's still bloviating. She's still bloviating. Where's the evidence? Did I just take her word for it? Because when I used to watch fucking goddamn Reading Rainbow, fucking goddamn homeboy said, "Don't take my word for it."
Okay.
Didn't he say that? You can show.
Wait, you put what you got your little Wally. Go ahead.
You're in Wally World right now.
Okay, so like while I was muted, I heard my dad say something. Jesus is not riding a tripod. Sorry, he is not riding a tripod. And when I commented it, I said fighting machine because that's what they're calling the book. Please, just no. Can we not put Jesus inside the cockpit of a fighting machine?
We're just like Jesus
going. Let's not put Jesus inside the cockpit of a fighting machine.
That's schizotypal disorder. She's schizo.
Okay. Well, there we go. Let's hear the rest of it because she actually gets into other stuff. Let's go.
You would bring in something to captivate the entirety of the planet so that everybody can be on the same accord. So I think some of this is a bit of a psyop. And if you look at some of the footage, you know how I feel about the moon, Rich. I think I've talked about it before. I think, I'm with Dr. Delbert Blair on this. Notice I'm using that word. I believe the moon is a satellite and the moon is used and was towed here to control the ebb and flow of the planet and also to put women under control. That's why women's menses and their body and their water, because we have a higher constitution of water in our body, is controlled by the moon. So I believe the moon is a towed satellite that controls people and it puts people under mind control. I do not believe that they had a moon landing. And we've seen plenty of the films of them doing central casting, filming themselves with a set on the moon. I know it hurts everyone when I say this because a lot of people, especially with a certain age, if you were young, I wasn't born yet, but 1969, I know many people, was a big deal to them. And to collapse that system of belief that they believe that their country had a great feat of landing on a moon, I call cap on that. That isn't true. So when I'm seeing footage released of UFOs in the sky on the moon, it's cap because I already know that was a psyop. So I also know that whatever is being shown is
I need her to shut up.
Just pass me my wall.
Your Wally? Yeah, because we need things to hug right now. Because this is sad. You see my face? Oh! This is why we losing. This is why we losing. Because of y'all niggas. What is she? She has nothing. So I think that the universe and space and Jesus and women's rights just throw a whole bunch of shit.
Why all at once?
And smush it all together.
All at once.
A whole freaking dookie patty.
All at once.
And force feed it to you. With a serious face. She is an op. She is an op.
Something to hug, Dad.
Yeah, let me hug Wally, man. Come on. Niggas.
We're talking about disclosure, y'all.
Niggas.
Probably reintroduce technology that was covenanted by our governments, not just one, and multitude of different technology that they took from ETs that did come here. And not all ETs use UFOs. We do know this. Some of them transport themselves through vortices, stargates, wormholes, and they use their body as a form of going through, transporting themselves through
nothing
stargates.
to show us that we know this. She's just talking out of her titties. Big titties at that. Come on, yo. I'm done. I'm about to throw Wally and break my whole TV screen. I'm done.
I mean, I saw my that was that much.
No, I'm not going. No, this is terrible.
Okay, can I take the seat back?
Yeah, go ahead, son.
So it's not always ships. Usually, it's ships at the lowest grade of technology because interdimensionals, extraterrestrials have found a way to travel with their macabre, with their body, through the wormholes and through the different dimensions and densities.
How do we know?
Personally speaking, LeBron, has anything out the ordinary been happening?
Please fire my dad. I'm just gonna beat up.
We're saying, where's the evidence? Maybe we're too low level life form to have evidence. Like maybe our evidence is too maybe it's too advanced for us to even be able to prove, but people are talking about it. Let's go.
Happening with you, because I know you are a contactee.
Yes.
You was contacted many years ago. With this going on, is anything extra happening to you that we should know of?
Well, I think we've talked about it. I've had contact over the last maybe a couple months ago with a female base of, I would call them interdimensionals that are here. I call them like Lilith, like dark Lilith beings that are here that basically come at the end of days or the before reset to almost do like, I hate to say it like this and it's going to sound insane, but let me put this out there. I'm zero drugs. I don't drink.
Yes.
I am sane. I am a parent. Yes. I'm very functional. I have to put that out there because what I'm about to say is that, there are a lot of ETs or interdimensionals that come here and this is like a grocery shop for them. So they come here at the time of harvest. And I don't know if anyone ever saw the movie. I think it was Jupiter Ascending, Jupiter Rising. I think it was Jupiter Ascending. It was a movie.
Yes, Jupiter
Ascending. It talked about planets being used for resources and people being used as a resource to, to use their body or their constitution.
She said movies.
She said movies. What did I say?
But please, Dad.
Yeah, speak a little louder. Speak a little louder. Speak a little louder.
Put in your words.
According to my dad, she's watching too much of TV now. She is watching too
much. What about according to you? What about according to you? In your understanding of aliens.
Okay. Aliens are cool. But why are we mixing aliens and religion at the same time, please? Please
speak a little louder. Speak a little louder. I can't hear you.
Please just explain to me why we're mixing aliens and Jesus together.
Well, why? Well, where's all of her evidence? Where's all of her evidence coming from? She's saying a lot of things that she is not even verifying. She's just saying them in a very serious way that seems convincing. However, she is going all the way to fucking goddamn. I mean, if this Flash Gordon and shit,
Well, we passed the Jesus anomaly, right?
No,
So
but still, no.
initially
There was still continuing. Hold on. She's still continuing to say amazing things like they're fucking fact, and having absolutely not an iota or an ounce of verifiable. Oh, we know that the ETs have to fly in. No, we don't. We don't know shit. When's the last time a fucking goddamn ET touched your hiney, girl?
Well, she was getting into that. She was
I'm good. I'm good.
Had
contact. I'm good. No, this is the type of shit that makes me lose my fucking mind, because crazy people want to talk to you about shit that they can't prove. And say it so serious and so fucking goddamn straight out of their fucking side of their neck.
Okay, I think that put it correctly. So just one last thing. So, no, I came here just to talk about a book, and now I am caught up in Jesus. I suck in Jesus.
Alien Jesus.
More people than I can count, and also someone talking out of their boobs. So I'm just going to mute up. I've said enough.
All right. Someone talking out their boobs. You've trained him well.
Exactly what she's doing.
Their body for loosh or for regeneration for them or sustaining their life force. So there is a group of extraterrestrials that come here. Sometimes it's every 5 years, sometimes it's before reset and pole shift, but they come here to do what I call grocery shopping, or to come here to collect and to harvest human beings or whatever's left of the human beings before the reset, in order to kind of covet some materials before we go through the reset and the beginning again. We end and then we start again in a loop.
Indeed. I'm trying to get a picture of this 8-point star. As I get the picture together, you already seen it. What was your thoughts about, because that is being talked about a lot, about the image of the 8-point star? What's your thoughts about that?
I actually think it's maybe a mirror of a wormhole or a vortex. That's maybe we're seeing it from the inverted side. Sometimes when you see a geometrical shape, we perceive it as we're seeing the front of something, but sometimes what we're seeing is a reflection of maybe a dimension or a density that's showing up because there's a wormhole that's open. So usually when you see when I'm seeing the 8-pointed star, it makes me think I'm seeing a reflection of perhaps a wormhole being opened or a vortex being opened or closed. It can look that way.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Now she don't deserve to be called out of her name. No,
I'm a grown-ass man.
Right, but she don't. Listen, we're not gonna be calling women BITCs.
No.
Why is there?
You don't mean no good.
Why is there an 8-pointed compass?
It's just nothing.
That is the UFO that they have in the disclosure document.
No, that's a picture
of the UFO.
Of nothing.
Of
nothing. That's tangible. You cannot use that in a court of law. That is not going to freaking pass.
You're saying that pictures can't be put in a court of law?
No, in the court of law, you have to have verifiable information. And this is just an image. An image that can be mute. We are in a late age of, even back in the day, going back to when the TVs were created, people were able to freaking daggone do things to your eyes. It's called sleight of the hand in magic. Sleight of hand. A person could literally hold a coin, make it disappear, and then pull it out of his ear. Was that real?
But here's the question: when the government puts out this picture,
this is trash. The government.
The government is
wait. See, you keep on bringing up the government when we already know. I need y'all all to go and take a look at a video called the Century of the Self. The Century of the Self. This is a propaganda machine that they talk about, going all the way back to Sigmund Freud and how they began to create propaganda tools to self. It's not self, self. SELF, the century of the self. And when America began to use the television and images to manipulate the population into beliefs and encouraging beliefs that would be detrimental to our society's ability to unify against the daggone 1%. We are always being fed false information so that we will be separated. Now, y'all go and watch the video of here's Wally, because I need to hug something. My son said I need to hug something. Go and watch X-Files. X-Files, I think it's season 6, the last season, episode 11. It might be the other way around. It might be season 11, episode 6. And it discusses propaganda and the reason why we are fed so much false information to keep all of us from having what she just called religion, which I just simply say is a hive mind. And we should have a hive mind. At some point on this planet, as human beings, we should come to some mutual agreement and understanding on how we're going to continue to survive and live and cohabitate together. That is what bees do without effort. Look up the X-Files. I think it's episode 11, season 11, episode 6. When it talks about it, the name of it is Mr. They. Look up the episode of X-Files called Mr. They. They are they, right? Oh, they say, and they said, and the government, they told us. They are the ones. They is a freaking daggone. It's ambiguous because they could be anybody. It could be even her being they. Sitting over here talking about flabbergasting us with things that have no verifiable evidence or can actually affect the benefit of our lives and our children's lives and our generations to come. What does this do to help us besides make us all schizotypal? I'm done. I'm done with this. This is why you got to bring me in to have conversations of like love and things that, you know what I'm saying? Like I can rip. My son is trying to snatch me. He's put the cape on me like freaking James Brown. I'm about to walk up the stage. I'm good. I'm done.
But no, there's a reason why I bring you on these conversations, though, because
so I can be Scully. I'm not Mulder on this one.
No, it's okay. You can
I don't believe. I don't believe in that.
But no, that's good. I don't like to talk, I don't like to talk in a wind tunnel. So it's okay to be Scully. It's okay to be Scully. Go ahead.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this means that it's all one big lecture. Just to sum up that long monologue you just had.
Let the
one big magic.
Hurry, step right on in. Can't afford to pass it by. Guaranteed to make you die.
It's for the crowd, make you cry.
Online, a lot of speculation. People are saying it comes from the Superman movie. Some people saying it's the Ishtar star. Some people saying it's the Shining Star Sirius. I've heard so many different accounts. Is there anything in our ancient stories, histories, mythology that this might remind you of when you see an 8-point star?
Well, it makes me think of the story of, again, we're going to go back to the concept of Jesus, which is a historical reference. When, before Jesus was born, there was a star that looked like that in the sky. Like if you look at the old movies, you kind of look up in the sky, and when they say that the three, I think it was 3 men walking through the desert, they saw something like this in the sky, which makes me think that was about reset time. So I think this could be remnants of a pre-collapsing of our field of the firmament. And maybe historically, there's a lot of people reference it in different ways, how they were taught or what their ideas or what their ideologies were at the time. But it makes me think of the star that was in the sky that they were walking through the desert before they saw Jesus being born.
Why? I want to ask a question. Why is everybody so hell bent on the end of the world and the reset
Because
of everybody?
everybody's living in a fear. It's a fear state. So you watch that movie again. You go back and watch. It's like 4 freaking daggone episodes, or 4 you know what I'm saying, a 4 series documentary about propaganda. Fear is one of the most powerful controlling tools in a human. Fear will save your life. Fear will also cause you to die if you don't know. You know what I'm saying? What you're fearing is real or not, right? So fear is the most powerful tool in propaganda. In public relations is a whole nother term for propaganda, right? So fear is what church folks use. Language, format, grammar, and stay on course when, you know what I'm saying? Wipe your mouth and fix your face. So fear is one of the most powerful tools of control, right? And we get that with fear tactics in church, and you're going to hell if you don't do this, and so fear runs how people manipulate. You know what I'm saying? If they can make you fearful of something, they can control you. And so yes, end times, aliens, anything that
the Great Reset. That's all that this is really talking about. What they're trying.
Yeah, but she's already fed into it, because she's over here flapping gums about things that she cannot support. She can't support it, but she's talking about it from an absolute perspective, as if it is verifiable facts, and she has nothing but them Yidam bombs.
The yams.
You know, I just remember that in stories when I was younger. So I think it's a reflection of either a gate opening or closing, but a reflection of it.
Right. Somebody said the Bethlehem star. Is that the story?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bethlehem. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just I remember the stories as a young girl, and I remember seeing it, and it looked very much like that.
Right. Indeed. Do you think the quality of the pictures, do you think the more they release it, the quality is going to get better, or do you think this?
That's another question I have to ask. I mean, you guys have been looking at UFOs for this long. I mean, this much technology, and y'all pictures are still grainy and looking crazy like this. Y'all ain't got a full-fledged color version of this.
This is all they're going to give the public is a bunch.
I think they're just basically giving you breadcrumbs. Right. I think they're giving you breadcrumbs. This is like a UFO Epstein kind of thing. This is them slow feeding you old information, stagnant information that is not very relative to what we're engaging with. Like most of us who are contactees have seen things way more astounding than this. And I noticed that they're putting black and white to a lot of the pictures. And I have I question the fact that they took away some of the coloring in the imagery to purposefully downgrade what you're looking at. So I'm questioning the quality and the coloring of these pictures and how old they are. There's way more information. And I mean, I know contactees who have things that could blow people's minds away. This is like 3rd grade release. Again.
And I would say this is that if there are people that are contactees of UFOs, why don't they ever have pictures of the thing? Why is it always grainy like this, like looking like that? Like why?
Right, because they think it looks more realistic. They think that they can convince you with something that looks grainy, just something that you really can't even like. I can do that with AI now. I can make something like that with AI. And you won't even be able to tell that it's not a fucking, excuse my language, a video from daggone a 19 freaking daggone 40 something.
Right.
I would also like to say that just a second ago I muted for the sake of everyone here's souls. My dad is very broken up about this. So
I'm hurt.
I'm gonna meet up again, and we're gonna just.
I'm gonna scream my head off while the mic is off. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm sorry, I'm screaming your head out the whole time.
Scream my head off.
This is UFO Epstein 2.0.
Wow. Wow. See, this is why we got you up here, Flebrun. Does any of your contactees or yourself, or do you know anybody who does remote viewing?
There's quite a few. What happens with remote viewers, and unfortunately, for some of our most astounding remote viewers who come from the sector of the super soldiers, I think many of you know we lost James Rink, who just transitioned. We lost Renetta. These were some major remote viewers that could have been purposefully taken out at a time where it would have been really important and pertinent for us to have their information right now. So, but from what I understand is that even with remote viewing, the governments have a way and I've talked about this before when I attempted to do a remote viewing of Kanye West at the time he was missing. I didn't realize that when you remote view, there are psychic people that are, whether they're human or not. So when you go into the field, you get your destination, you go to it, but there are psychic people or cops that see you in your etheric body, and they can kick you out. They can throw you out, or they can block you. So even if we have people that are really, really skilled, which I talked about, some of the people, also Wilcock is also missing. I have a concept of the missing scientists. I actually think, big up to the Zombies, we were on discussing this. I don't think everyone was terminated. I actually think they were extracted. I think you have that many people talking about, 0-point technology, gravity, zero gravity. We have Wilcock, who is from the hub of the UFOs, from Ancient Aliens to Gaia, who's a really pinnacle point in our community, especially my community, the UFO community. Him disappearing at this time, it's still up to the jury, but I still feel personally that he was extracted and he wasn't necessarily killed.
Wait, what's her community?
The what community? The what?
There are remote viewers that are psychics that actually are able to remote view in a different situation.
What community?
What's the name of the community she just said?
The community she's in? What community?
Let me go back.
Gaia is a part of her community.
Are psychic people that are, whether they're human or not. So when you go into the field, you get your destination, you go to it, but there are psychic people or cops that see you in your etheric body, and they can kick you out. They can throw you out, or they can block you. So even if we have people that are really, really skilled, which I talked about, some of the people, also Wilcock is also missing. I have a concept of the missing scientists. I actually think, big up to the Zombies, we were on discussing this. I don't think everyone was.
I'm losing fucking. Oh my God. I'm losing freaking daggone. I'm losing IQ points right now.
The Zombies. So, all right, let's go.
I actually think they were extracted. I think you have that many people talking about, 0-point technology, gravity.
So are you aware of the scientists that have gone missing? Hold on. Here's a question. Go ahead.
Why did I just say that?
Say it again, Zion. Go ahead, say it.
What did I gain from saying that?
What did I gain? Yeah, like what did I learn today? That niggas are fucking just out of their fucking minds.
Why is she just get to the point? Can she just get to the point?
She keeps on going into depth about things that she cannot verifiably prove as if they're fact, and that's the crazy part. She's talking about, oh my God, yo. I literally, I'm about to freaking daggone lose a fucking damn.
Oh, they're watching the world.
My blood pressure just went up.
Please destroy.
This is crazy. Monica, I know you didn't sit there and listen to all of that.
I did.
I'm going to pray for you.
It was interesting to me. I'm like, wow, there's like people that believe that there are psychics.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm like, there's people
But
that
you're
believe
interested in somebody saying a whole bunch of nothing.
This is not the first person that have said that this exists.
So there's a whole bunch of people who lie.
But do you know the CIA has done an entire
The CIA didn't give you no information.
Yeah, the Central, it's all on their files on their website.
So I gotta believe everything the CIA says, or should not? Should not.
But what determines a fact?
What determines a fact? You being able to verify it.
Well,
without just saying,
listen, I have never physically
CIA can say anything to you.
Right, but aren't they a research agency that like?
No, not they. You can research how much they've lied to us too.
Okay. Well, listen. I listen. I listen. Everything is up for discussion here on this page. Dude, don't get mad about it. It's like, well,
this
this
discussion because sometimes we have discussions and then those discussions can further cause instability in our community. Like there's certain discussions that we should have, certain discussions that we need to just leave alone because what we don't want to do.
Wait, why are we talking about researchers?
She ain't no researcher.
Well, no, but the all
She's just a lady who says she's a part of a community that believes in Gaia.
Didn't you just call this?
No, she didn't say Gaia.
African deity. Wait.
She didn't say Gaia.
Gaia's Greek.
She didn't say Gaia. She said.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Let me.
Zero gravity. We have Wilcock, who is from the hub of the UFOs, from ancient aliens to Gaia, who's a really pinnacle point in our community, especially my community, the UFO community. Him disappearing at this time.
Ancient aliens and Gaia. Hold on, stop.
You said she didn't say it. So I guess you didn't hear
my
her.
bad. All right, so you're right. All right, so ancient
She
aliens.
said it's important to her community.
Listen.
Which means her community believes in Gaia.
No, stop. So Ancient Aliens is a TV show. Gaia is a website. So she means Gaia, the website. Ancient Aliens, a TV show, and the person that came up missing, the scientist, is known as.
Still a whole. The Gaia is a freaking web page full of pseudo.
Never mind. I'm not going there.
Pseudoscience.
The moment I heard something, I saw something about.
But yeah, she's talking about the science. But no, she's talking about the science. No, she's saying the scientist that came up missing is from Gaia and Ancient Aliens documentary.
Oh, the dude with the wild hair.
Yeah, he came up missing.
It's still up to the jury, but I still feel personally that he was extracted and he wasn't necessarily killed.
What do you mean by extracted? Could you explain what you mean?
I have a feeling that before we're about to have a release, and you got to look at timing. We got to use our critical thinking. Why before release? A week before release? A week before release? Information
is admissible.
Hold on, though. All right. So what? All right. What is she talking about right here?
Nothing.
Wait, but no.
Goddamn thing.
But hold on. He asked her about the missing scientists that have come up missing. He asked her, "What do you think happened to those scientists?" And she is giving what she thinks about what might have happened.
Thinks, with no verifiable information.
Right, but he asked her what she thinks. So
well, I would back what I think.
If I'm watching a video about what she thinks,
evidence, because I don't think without evidence.
Why are we using just these
considerations of?
Why are we using terms that don't immediately explain what she thought? What does extract mean? She could have just said snatched if it meant that.
Yeah, well, she probably thinks they're
extracted
me. All right, the reason why she's using extracted is that all right, snatch means they might be killed. Extracted means they're still alive. Hold on, they're still alive, but put somewhere to where they can't be in front of everybody talking whatever scientific or whatever the hell shit they talk about. Let's go.
The biggest pinnacle, most popular person in that community is taken out.
Mm-hmm.
I think not all the time are they killed. Sometimes they're procured for putting them in dark ops operations where they can work from secret space programs. They can work for the government. They could have been working for the government anyway, and we didn't know. And they're being extracted right before pertinent information is about to be released. So perhaps they can't rebuke it or talk against it. I actually think that many of these scientists and Wilcock could have been extracted and taken. Perhaps.
So he asked her what happened to Wilcock, right? Really well-known scientist from Gaia and the Ancient Aliens. If you've seen the documentary Ancient Aliens and Gaia website, he has a show on there. He came up missing. They're trying to figure out what happened to him. That's what the story is. Let's go.
Okay, well, I do have a question. What does she mean by dark operations?
All right, so there is a such thing in the CIA where they have this thing called dark ops, right? And that's where they people will come up missing. And you might be working for the government, but you are considered deceased, but you're working for the government in a facility. I mean, I don't know if this exists or not.
She's a dark op. She's a dark op. She is a dark op. But she's over here feeding y'all some fucking bullshit.
So you don't believe that all those
and
things
talking out of her chest, all out her boobs, with no fucking goddamn fact that's going to help us deal with fucking goddamn our circumstances. We going right back into Jim Crow because of this dumb shit. I'm tired of niggas.
It appears that this
Well, listen, I got a show coming up in like, I'm gonna do like 10 more minutes of this, and I got a show coming up in 5.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna do a part 2 of this because I really
a part 2.
I'm gonna do a part 2.
That is part 2.
I don't think we need.
We didn't get to finish it. We didn't get to finish it. Let's go.
In these secret space programs to keep them before we're about to have bigger events, so that they're not out here whistleblowing and disclosing things that aren't real or telling you what is real.
You know that what you was talking about with the somebody just made me think about it when they said dream moderators. When you was talking about these psychics that can spot your etheric body, that has happened to me so many times when I was younger in my dreams, where I go somewhere in my dreams and it's like when somebody spots me, they chase me away. They're like, hey, you, and they're like, come over here, like I'm running from the police, and I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? But
Just like the cops, yeah.
So it has happened. I mean, so many times.
That means you're powerful, though. If they're chasing you, that means you were able to go places.
Oh no, they be chasing that. Yeah.
Well, remember who we are when you were little. You were already who you are now.
Right.
There's no differential of time. Time doesn't exist in a way that is, linear. So it makes sense to me that as a little boy, they knew what you become, and they didn't need you snooping and sneaking and seeing things so you could bring it over to your platform a couple of years later. So I call them psychic cops. And like I said, when I went to go look for Kanye West, I was met with a guy with like a shirt, like a Star Wars shirt and glasses. And even though I was in my etheric body, he could see me. And it frightened the heck out of me. Like he literally saw me in the corner hiding because I thought I was invisible. But that's what I think a lot of remote viewers are coming against. Only the ones that I think are able to break through those walls, those concrete walls of secret information, are those working in governmental and who've been trained by governmental officials and have been working years and trained from little children, like what you've seen in 11, the little girl 11 that was in Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yep.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. No, definitely. And I think that yeah, this is a great conversation.
Is this microphone working?
I'm glad that this is
my voice just
becoming
crazy
more
loud
normalized,
right
this
now?
type of conversation, whether it's remote viewing or astral projection or ETs or whatever. I think it's very important. My next question was going to be about the scientists in the David Wilcock, but you kind of went into that, and I think you have a very interesting theory that I didn't hear others say. Everybody just assumed he was unalive by
No.
folks.
Did you see his best friend on an AI video talking about him? And it was an AI guy. He was it was strange. As soon as he was taken, it was odd that a lot of people who came out and spoke about him, especially a guy who was supposedly close to his best friend, came out and did an AI video. He wasn't even real. So when you start to see that, and you aren't able to see a funeral or anything that gives you concrete, proof that someone's gone. Not to say we're going to have all of that. It's a private event, but you have to ask yourself, not everything that is being told to us is true, and a lot of things that are being slow fed to us as the public are just being shared with us to mislead us, to lead us down another track so we're not looking. And whenever I see someone, a pinnacle influence like a David Wilcock passing away or being extracted, I know that a big event is coming, and now we're seeing why he was extracted before. 2 weeks.
She said honest. That was the only thing she said honest. The only thing she said is that there are people who are trying to mislead us. And she's one of them.
Pardon me.
I'm about to sing. Step right up. Hurry, hurry, before the show begins. My friend.
You know what? Man, anyways, I for one, I can identify with some of the things she's saying. I have dreams. I never astral projected. I've never did remote viewing, but these things do exist.
No.
Even after he's warm in his bed where he is, now we're having a slow release of information.
Until Donald Trump drops dead. All of y'all with the freaking daggone bones, with the daggone cowrie shells, and the freaking daggone coconut, broken coconut, spitting rum. If y'all niggas don't get this nigga out of office, I don't want to talk about it. There should be 1,000 Obia women right now splashing and spitting rum. And I need to see something happen.
Coconut.
Now, if David Wilcock is out here, someone from Ancient Aliens who is on also Gaia, he would be able to confirm or deny some of the things being shared. So why not take that pinnacle hub person out so that people are confused and just believe whatever Willy Wonka and his League of Doom tell us?
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
A house where we go into in Culpeper, Virginia. So we were there every summer. Virginia has a lot of UFO sightings and a lot of stories. Now, I remember my Uncle Mac, which was my blood uncle, but he married to my great aunt. And he talked about beings walking out of the water, like literally at nighttime. And they just be sitting on a porch, drinking some whatever scotch or moonshine, whatever it was, sitting there with a shotgun on the right hand. You know what I mean? And watching beings would look like webbed hands walking out of these waterways and not bothering them and just walking by and walking. I remember my Uncle Mac, I was like maybe 6 or 7, and he would tell stories like this. You know, as a child, you're thinking, oh my God, is that real? Or so.
All right, this is going to be the last thing I say. So she just got finished saying there's freaking daggone crackers in West Virginia. These are the same cats that freaking inbreed, right? West Virginia, right? That are sitting on their porch with guns. You know what I'm saying? They'll lynch the hell out of your ass at the wrong hour if you walking down their street. But somehow they ain't got an alien swinging from a tree. Fuck out of here.
Hold on, I'm gonna quickly switch hats.
Man, listen.
Also, I just realized that StreamYard has a new logo. That's cool.
Man, listen, guys. You know what? I have to do a show in like 15 minutes. Let's get some final words, guys. Go ahead.
Okay, final words. I have no idea what's happening. I came to talk about a book, and now I'm caught between the drama of my father and also alien conspiracies and also Jesus. So I have no idea what to say. So I'm just going to say, what the hell? That's what I'm going to leave it at.
All right, Zion, go ahead.
Ow!
Can you do that again?
I said, no! Yo, where's that with that video of the dad that was crying and shit over his son? You need to put that up. I'm crying right now. Where's that little clip that you have? That's how my soul feels right now. Oh, y'all. And there's people sitting around eating this shit up. Like, yeah, she know what she talking about. She ain't said shit. She ain't said nothing that she can verify. I can say, we as a people, we need to come together because, the CIA has evidence about how divine we are. And I can tell you that I think that, and none of it has any substance. It's me flapping and bloviating and trying to be sincere about it so that you'll believe it. She is the dark op. Those are the type of people in our community that we need to leave alone. What was that other black dude who freaking daggone got beat up by the white dude about the Bible? I forget his name. You know what I'm talking about, sis? The black brother who
Billy
in the community.
Carson. Billy Carson.
Yeah, that asshole. That freaking daggone op. He's a dark op. Got our heads all the way up our asses. And we over here talking about aliens, and we got a whole Cheeto sitting in the freaking daggone fucking everything up. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It's a sideshow. It's a sideshow. And we are so caught up into entertainment and movies that we want to believe. Listen, I want to believe in magical aliens that are going to come down and beat up, you know what I'm saying, all of our oppressors. Please do. ASAP. I'm going to need that. But it's, you know what? Can I stand on that? Can I relax while my child, you know what I'm saying, my children grow up in a world that is literally going back 400 years right now? We have lost. And we're talking about shit that you can't prove. Like we can prove it. We have to be more. We cannot be gullible. We're gullible. Show me the money. I'm filing a habeas corpus. If I don't see no alien, I don't want to talk about it. And on that note, goodbye, love. Bye, bye, my love, yeah. Yeah. What must I do? Come on. All right. I love you, Monica.
All right. Peace, guys. Shouts out.
One last word to say.
Go ahead.
Potato.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God